Okay, folks, it is just me today. I am still sort of getting ready in the background. I'm vaguely ready. I just need to do that thing where I get some caffeine and sit down and we'll be all peachy. And it's not liking the stream. Yeah, the first one's Savannah game. By the way, folks, I do have to say, hang on, I'm gonna put on an advert now. Actually, I'll do that now. That's a really nice dress. That's a very nice dress. Anyway, I'll let that play.
选手 Grizzly 先请他和大家打个招呼吧。
먼저 자기소개 부탁드립니다.
大家好，我是 UP 그리즐리 선수.
欢迎欢迎。那首先第一个问题，回顾上一轮你们和 OMG 的交手是2-0顺利拿下的，那今天还想围绕哪些部分做进一步的提升呢？
지난 라운드에서 OMG 만났을 때 2대0으로 승리하셨는데요. 오늘은 어떤 측면 위주로 하실 걸까요?
오브젝트 한타나 팀적인 한타에서 좀 더 신경을 쓰고 그 부분을 잘하면은 오늘 경기도 쉽게 이길 것 같습니다.
我们今天会针对资源团以及团前的沟通来进行加强。如果我们能做到这一点的话，我认为我们会很轻松的赢下胜利。
还是有备而来的。那目前呢 ，UP 战队也是位于涅槃组的第3名嘛。那这场比赛也关系着能否向骑士之路更进一步。在赛前想要对其他4位队友传递怎样的信念呢？
저의 지금 조내 썬루에 있습니다. 이번 경기는 기사의 길에 한 걸음 더 다가갈 수 있을지 결정하는 중요한 경기인데요. 혹시 경기하기 전에 다른 팀원들에게 전하고 싶은 말이 있는지?
지하요 이치잉.
好的，也期待你们赛场的表现了，加油！ 同样呢，我们也邀请到了 OMG 的中单选手海超，先跟大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 OMG 中单海超。
欢迎海超。那首先回顾一下上一场对阵 UP 的时候，你们选择的是偏发育的阵容，可惜呢没能撑到后期打出效果。那这次如果想要打得更加主动，需要掌握哪些要素呢？
比赛内容打得太糯了，太怂了，对面给机会我们抓不住，然后我们又经常给机会，今天要把这些做好。
还是有很多的总结复盘的。那今天其实是你们组内赛倒数第2战嘛，也是晋级的一个生死战，对你们来说至关重要。有哪些目标想要在今天比赛当中去完成的呢？
对我自己来说，就是再输的话就太丢人了。
还是希望今天可以打得更好的，也期待你更多的赛场表现，加油！
Okay, hello everyone. I'm back. I am back. Let me change up the music very quickly, and then well, I'm gonna have to do this for a couple of seconds, aren't I? Okay. You're Nymaera? Damn, nice to meet you. I hear your work-life balance is atrocious. Wow, what an honor to meet you. Oh, God. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such shows as the LEC and the LPL. Oh, I should tell everyone as well. If this if this day goes long, I do have like a hard out at 2 o'clock my time, which is in like 4 hours from now. So if one of the game goes to three games, I'm gonna have to cut off like the end of the stream, which is gonna be a pain because it is BLG top esports. So really, folks, pray for like one team to like dominantly win the first series, so we could actually get most of the second series in. Because I have something to record and we've been postponing it for forever. So yeah, that's something I can't really rearrange again. It's doing me in it is. Ah, Blade, sorry to hear that. Is the buffering happening for everyone else, or is it is it a Twitch thing, or is it on Blade's end? I think I've downed mine to 1080. What did I postpone? Recording Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 video. Not for you? Okay, alright. Okay. So if there's something I can do for, okay, like, alright. Okay, I should be onto its proper. Oh, the audio thing's actually working now, nice. Ultra Prime are better? Yeah, OMG looked very bad the last time we saw them, and, well, yeah. How do you feel the BLG situation? Okay, so, for those of you that don't know, like, there was a lot said yesterday about Bin kind of, like, cussing out someone quite high up at BLG and potentially then storming out. Apparently is now starting back again after they promoted their LDL top lane to the main team, but it seems like Bin is now listed as the starting top laner again. Apparently he has now apologized to the manager. He was cussing out basically. Audio isn't so crispy today. That will be from the voiceover in the adverts. Yes, you're right. I really like this track. I really like this track. It's so cool. Okay, Ultra Prime versus OMG, folks. This is peak Nirvana gaming. I think OMG come in. OMG come in as the underdogs. I think they've looked really quite poor. They've also just replaced their jungler as well. Reo, who played in Demacia Cup for a bit, is now playing.
Ultra Prime. Oh my god! 赛段组内赛第3周第5日的比赛 ，UP 对阵 OMG 即将开始 ，LPL 无畏进巅峰。
The rocket in the left ear. Okay, so let's have a talk about this matchup. Let's lead you through it. Ultra Prime versus OMG. Basically, Ultra Prime. I don't want to boil it down to this too much, but I think it has to go with that. It has to be said. Ultra Prime is effectively the Saber team now. Saber is the life and death of this team. On the other side for OMG, I thought it was Starry, but Starry's not been playing that well either. So I think that realistically, Ultra Prime probably come in at a slight advantage because I think Saber is playing well. Actually, hang on, I've got to up the volume of this again, don't I? There we go. That'll be better, I think. Okay, so yeah, for OMG, you know, they've replaced their jungler. Juhan had perhaps the worst individual game in jungle I have seen in this era of League of Legends. He was down 5 levels. He was 0-8 and 0. Then was down 150 CS as well, and 5.5 thousand gold. We're going into the draft. So Raya's come back in. We don't really know that much about him. Well, I don't know that much about him. I saw him in Demacia Cup, but yeah. Okay, quickly through the bans. Alright, quickly through the bans. Jace, Oriana, Varus, I'm noticing Rumble's available. Yeah, that's the first pick, no surprises there. So now what you're thinking about is, you know, Cassante into the Rumble is fine, Ling Chen will be okay with that one. Yunara means that you can get out of the Rumble Equalizer as well as certain engaging combos with it. I would have expected something more like a Vi or something like that. The Rise comes through as well. Okay. So you've got a lot of point and click setup. You have the double AP solo laners, so Starry could potentially look towards something a bit more lethality in the bot side, like a Jhin if he wanted to, but either way, he's happy. He probably won't have to build as much percent armor penetration early into the game. Wow, I don't like that Trundle at all. There's no tanks to go into. It's good versus the Shinzao. It's pretty bad versus everyone else. It's not like the Shinzao's going anywhere else, you know? Yeah, what did Juhan do? Yeah, he had perhaps the worst individual game I have seen of this era of League. He died contesting an invade, which he had full vision of, and then well, rather like he lost a lot of camps he had full vision of after he contested it, and then he just fell behind like a million CS and died a lot, like a lot. Lulu banned away from Xiaoxia. I suppose Henna and Xiaoxia, if they get ahead of the bot lane, things get a bit problematic. The Ashe banned away. Ashe Rumble is really nasty combo as well. Basically, Rumble with any kind of CC-AD carry kind of goes hard. Particularly because the CC-AD carries, they're all like long-range CC, right? So, I suppose this will be a mid laner. We'll see whether it's something like the Cassiopeia or the Anivia. The Aurora is a bit more mobile. Not that I think you have to be mobile versus this top side of OMG. No, the Rumble equalizes something, but I don't think they have crazy target access. The Aurora is locked in for Saber. OMG desperately needs to engage. So Moham's probably looking at Rel, which means that Xiaoxia might end up going towards something like the Nautilus. We might have a Rel, Nautilus, or an Alistar trade-off. Unless OMG go for the Alistar, but then if you hard lose lane that way. Corki locked in for Starry instead. So that's somewhat of a losing matchup into the Yunara. If you go for the Bard, you have some engage with the ult. It's not crazy. It's hard to play. Tell you what, OMG's draft is not that easy to play. They have basically no CC in terms of team fight potential. The Bard ult's the only thing. Yeah, Nautilus is fine here. Whereas on the other side, you actually have a tank frontline. Did Johan get demoted to Academy or just benched? I believe he just got benched. I think he's on the roster still. He's just not being played now. So that was the draft. I'm going to put on a quick 1 minute 30 of ad break, folks. If you'd like to not have ads, you can do that thing where you subscribe. Yeah, I know, crazy. Crazy you can do that. Onto the riff we go. Nice angelic music again. Okay, some pings around the place. Saber, I think, saw those wards. I think they knew about that. They're pinging their bot side red buff. Hey, Harold, how's it going? See Hannah stacking up his Q on the wave. One of the most dangerous things for the Yunara, against the Yunara is letting her stack up that Q for free, but of course you have done. Oh, that is a nasty hook! Shaosha! Had the Q primed up as well from the, please stop dipping into vision, Hannah. Don't take that damage for free. Yeah, Harold did very well yesterday. Harold had a good cast yesterday. Found no one to work with today. Honestly, today, Harold, because I'm going to have to, like, dip out of the stream early. That's not a bad Q trade back, actually. Because I have to dip out the stream early today. If it goes long, I didn't want to deal with the hassle of getting people in. It was just organizationally way easier for me to just solo cast today. Bot lane complete control for Hannah and Xiaoxia. What's happening with the junglers? Both going top to bot. Pew. I remember one time in the, I was in the crowd at the LEC studio. I think it would have been like 23 or something. And the game sound failed. So every time someone fired a skill shot, we just go pew. Oh, man. Why is the camera on opposite ends? You're completely right. Yeah, hang on, you're completely right. There are cameras just on the opposite ends. That's not bad damage onto Moham. Auto attack reset. Starry trading back fairly well. Sure, Hal. Appreciate it. A recall coming out of Bard now, the early one. Healing Shrine helping a little. Hannah and Xiaoxia very much ruling the early game right now. Starry trying to freeze the wave, can't really. Wave's going to keep pushing in anyway. There you go, there's a guy, good to see. Using the Fey Lights there. Bot Scuttle going to be claimed quite easily here, I think. No smite even need. Well, he doesn't even have the smite, but he didn't need it. Okay, defensive vision there from OMG. Crystallized onto the tower. Top lane's being pushed in by Harry into Liangchen. Okay, farming under turret. Even in CS, slightly ahead of Harry actually. Doing okay. Mid lane's safe as well. It's basically just push difference really. Not a huge amount of difference across the board. Even the bot lane situation hasn't led to a huge CS difference. Might be a flash blown here. Yeah, there you go. If you get hit by the W, you're in trouble, really. tier back for Haichao. Interested to see what Saber's build is, whether he goes towards something very bursty or not. Sometimes it's worth going towards the Leandries anyway, just because again, the percent damage increase gets really nasty. Q is already stacked up by hand. A good hook again from Xiaoxia. Playing well into the Bard. Of course, it was a support counter pick. Slower game though. Yeah, later today, recording a video on Vampire the Masquerade. Vampire the Masquerade. Jeez, that was awful, even by my standards. That was cruel and unusual. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and we've been putting off for forever. Finally getting to do that yet later. Australian? No, I think you'll find that was an abomination. Angie absolutely hates it. Would I try? And sometimes it's passable. Sometimes it is genuinely just cruelty to the Australian people. Oh god. I've been sick, been in recovery. Oh, I didn't see you. You did that thing with redeeming the roast. My bad. I'll get around to that at some point. Ghost. The only thing more insulting than my Australian accent is your presence in Twitch chat, Ghost. That's your roast. Oh, Xiaoxia was hoping that Hannah could kill that minion, and then the hook would go through onto Starry. Hannah didn't land the auto attack on the right timing, or Xiaoxia didn't throw it on the right time. Hey, Jonas, how's it going? Wait, Katie's getting spanked by Nongshim? I mean, Katie didn't look great last I saw them. Is it really that bad? A Nongshim finally scaling. Taeyun Scout Supremacy. I didn't really think that team would be, look, I thought that Scout might have a bit of revival, but I didn't think that Taeyun would do very well in LCK. Polly sprinted game 1. I have no idea why Polly was playing for that team. I thought that Ghost when he showed up was just a lot better, really. Dragon was taken by OMG. Hey, TES. Thanks so much for the sub. Really appreciate you. Red buff stolen away by Grizzly. That's part of the cost of starting that dragon earlier. Grizzly can get it towards topside. God, it's been a slow game though. Lahens is still stomping lane. But Lahens is a strange player. Sometimes he will be incredibly good though. Wait, Ghost looks worse than Poly? Damn. Oh, they need Deadly Ghost? Right, that makes sense. Deadly Ghost. Yeah. Oh, notice how they've turned off the cameras on the overlay because they have them the wrong way around. Oops. Only just noticed that now. Lahens reminds me of On. Look, they're both very flippy players, but I don't think they play... Oh, that's a really good hook again. Xiaoxia's actually having a really good laning phase, you know? Flashing for the passive. Oh my god, that was actually pretty sick from Xiaoxia. Gets 3 summoners for 2 of his own, and Hannah managed to keep both his around. Xiaoxia's having a good laning phase. Teleport into the mid lane, both supports winding up there. They're waiting for like the first big fight of the game, you know? Oh, that hook was so close. Of course, Grub's up and alive now. Thing is, though, I don't even think that like Pyoshik is that flippy a jungler. I'd say that's more like Croco. Hang on, Xiaoxia doesn't have flash. Great hook away. Great hook away. There is an ult for Saber if he wants to really all in. I'd say that, yeah, I'd say Croco is the most flippy jungler, actually, right now. Whereas Pyoshik, I don't necessarily think he's flippy. I just think he's not very efficient. So when things don't go very well, he just falls behind. Rhea, ooh, nearly a pillar out. I think they would have been able to click that portal anyway, though. Grub's still not taken, by the way. Oh, it's hook onto the Shin Sao. Great early ult, though. Grizzly flashing away from the melee. Not a bad Aurora ultimate. Where's the damage coming through next? Alright, now maybe the Cassante can do some. Harry coming to the play. Sorry, Starry coming to the play just around the back of it. The Cassante's dead already, and I think OMG are turning this around. Ultra Prime can't land the damage. They funnel everything into the Shinzao ult, and Henna's not there. So they don't have the AD carry there either. So Ultra Prime, they do lose out a significant amount there, I suppose. What does it end up being? 1 for 1? So Grizzly has his ult. It's a decent well, no, the equalizer basically only hits Grizzly. Forces the flash out of him. Saber's ult's fine. Then Liang Chen goes for the big play here. They manage to kill Harry. And then he dies in return. So both top laners go down. What happened with the grubs after, though? What happened? Well, I guess we'll only see what the roll quest had done. I think it was 2 to OMG. Grizzly is certainly a player that exists. Yeah, I remember him, you know, rocking about in the LCK for a year or two. And then... Was it HLE Grizzly? Was that the time? And then, I don't know, he just had a fairly well, I didn't know where he was at after that, really. So Ultra Prime... Okay, they went 1 for 1 in that fight. You know, I said, oh, they lost that significant amount. Probably, yeah, I think they should have they stood to gain more, and they didn't. Ends up being fairly even. Ah, right, that makes sense, Jonas, yeah. That makes sense. The Crystallizer mid lane, hi Chow. Doing alright there. And the game slows down again. This is one of the things about Nirvana gaming. It's not very decisive. Yeah, you know what? LCK has never been the region to really mid-splits. Oh my god, the Protobelt farming. That was pretty sick. Oh my god. Well, that answers the item build. Say we're going towards the Protobelt first. I'm not gonna lie, folks. I believe this game will be about objective timers and nothing else. If we have learned nothing else about Nirvana, it is, we're on dragon timers, folks. Perhaps we'll get a very good Nymaera ult. Xiaoxia, I don't think you're built for that, friend. I don't think you're built for that at all. He's gonna die. Really good Bard stun as well onto Grizzly. Not bad from Saber, but there's an exhaust in place. Cancels out the ults. Shinzo ult doing some good work. Saber dodges out on the Bard ult. All out in top side. Harry doesn't have a flash, and he's probably just dead, no? Q misses, though. Walking onto the equalizer. Misses the Q. No flash from Cassante now. I think he actually just walks it out now. Huh. Actually, I think he probably should have got the solo kill there. Doesn't land the Q3, though. Harry lives. No flash to no flash. So OMG walk away with another play, and I have to say, I think Ultra Prime don't really know how to deal with the Shinzao ult, which is, you know, a bit concerning given how they, well, Shinzao's been the meta jungler for 4 years now? 4 years? Really came about in 22. Hey, Pintalos, how's it going? And now, because the dragon is down, we'll yap for another, you know, 4 minutes or so. Spend 30 seconds talking about the setup of the dragon and then see what happens after. Kraken Slayer in for Henna, had that cold stacked in. 1,000 gold up on Starry. By the way, that was kind of strange there. That the gold difference for Henna was like 1,000 rather than 1.0k. Ah. Typically, they don't list out all the individual digits. It's only to like 2 significant figures, which is strange because the 3-digit thing is to 3 significant figures. I don't know, just mathematically inconsistent. It's my most concerning thing about the scoreboard. Oh, God. Okay, Grizzly and Xiaoxia moving about together now. I think Xiaoxia's laning phase is pretty good. Not bad hook, but even better stun on the other side of things. Xiaoxia had a good laning phase, and then outside of lane has realized that, yeah, Nautilus doesn't survive everything. What's funny for me is that lore-wise, Shinzao's kill for Zardan to exist. In League, Shin is omnipresent, whereas Zardan is nowhere to be found. He's found occasionally. We have seen them in both the same games. Depends which region when you're watching. I'd say like Zahan's picked like 1 in every 10 series or so. Maybe slightly more than that in 10. No, it's 1 in every 10 games, I'd say. Liang slow pushing in the wave though. Oh, this could actually be a dead Moam. Yeah, okay. That's not a bad escape though. Okay, alright. It's 2 ultimates used to blow a flash. A support flash. I mean, I suppose the bar's quite easy to kill later. Dude, when I see Bard plays which are really good, not this counts it reminds me of that 22 Worlds Finals, where Beryl absolutely popped off on DRX. To be honest, I feel like Beryl is a super underrated part of that roster sometimes. Oh, another good Bard Q. Rizzy forced to flash, exhaust to use. Henna's here though. This is a pretty strong Yunara. Rayo does have flash, might have the magical journey out, and maybe will do. The hook not being used yet. The slow's coming out from that Arc of Judgment. Not a bad Bard ult. Yunara choosing not to flash. Equalizer comes over. Barrier used. Liang Shen fairly tanky. Has that W to make him even more so. The Shinzao's not happy now. Though, Xante in the middle of everyone. That's probably not where he wants to be. The flash finally comes out from the Yunara. Trying to flash for the last bit of damage, but there's a footwork. And no one dies again. Everyone managing to make it out. And folks, I lied. It wasn't under Dragon Timer this time. It was on a Herald Timer that we fought. Incredible. Incredible. Incroyable. Really, I see people putting Beryl in top 3 support discussions because of that Worlds. Yeah, some people do, but I don't think that's... I don't know if that's widely recognized. I think everyone just basically thinks that, look, Carry's the best support of all time, and that's very hard to argue against now. I think Mako's second. And then third's where things get a little bit weird. I think it's just because it's really hard to choose. I mean, I would say people probably still value someone like Mata after that. Or, yeah. Core JJ top 5? I hadn't really thought about it that much. Support, in fairness, in terms of like the top roles of all time, support's probably one of the... Well, it's probably the weakest role, I'd suppose. Yeah, basically, Beryl tanked his reputation a little bit. You can see there's so much temporary frontline on both sides with the Cassante W and the Shinzao ultimate. That fights really do hinge around what skills can be blown for free. No, Mako is definitely second best support of all time. I think up until like the last... I think the last Worlds is where, again, with Carrier being the, you know, the best player on T1, really. At that, for like the playoff, for bits of the playoffs. Okay, no, I'm not going to say that definitively, because actually I think that Ono was really, really good. In fact, I think Ono was probably their player of the tournament. Well, no, he was actually a little off form. Across the year, it was him. Okay, whatever. Too many different perspectives, too many different bits of time. Anyway, Carrier had another good like, performance individually at Worlds, particularly in playoffs. And that overtook Mako a little bit. Anyway, Dragon's up and alive, so typically we fight over that. You gonna give us a fight here, OMG? You gonna do that? Yeah, well, the jumping onto Liang Shen does have a W. Q times out from Rayo. He's used onto the W there. How? Good damage. Saber might be able to just one-shot someone. That would be a big problem. Herald summoned in mid lane. That will charge into mid lane. So Dragon started up. Rayo's going in. Of course, the new jungler for OMG. That's not a bad... Hang on, the Bardol's not fantastic, but Henna just dies. Harry's just slaughtered him. Trundle goes down too. Ultra Prime. They were the ones on the Dragon. They can't defend their AD carry. Had no summoners. I tell you what, Rayo and Harry are having a pretty good time of things in these team fights. The Rumble and the Shins out. I mean, it is the, you know, the replacement jungler coming in. Rayo is having a good time. We're playing Melee Yunara. The problem with blue side dragons is that you can get stuck against walls like that. Watch this again, right? Like when Henna's like in this position, he doesn't have flash. He doesn't want to walk towards the Rumble. He dashes away from the Shinzao, but just ends up walking into the Rumble, and everyone else is there. There's no peel nearby because Xiaoshu and Liang Shen are just way out of position for that. So, OMG are now on soul points. They have a 2.5k gold lead. Haichao's very happy. And I have to say, Ultra Prime are just not playing well around their front line. The Cassante is not doing Or rather, like, while the Cassante is tanking things, no one's doing damage. Now, is that because Liang Chen's out of position, or anyone else is? Up for debate, really. I think it really doesn't help that this Trundle doesn't achieve anything. Let's, you know, retroactively looking at the compositions, it really looks like the Trundle, which we had issues with right from draft, is not helping, really. Why are we even in the river? Because they wanted to do Dragon, Ghost. Because they wanted to do Dragon. Because they didn't want OMG to get third Dragon. I think you do have to start that. You don't want to have to retake it as well. Because going through the choke points into river against a Rumble is also kind of crap. Bard as well, to be honest. So what are you looking for from Ultra Prime now? I don't know. I don't know. Reminder that, by the way, bottom two from Group Nirvana are basically eliminated from playoffs. So what will need to happen is... well, LGD have already 2-0 Ultra Prime, so it's unlikely for them to get into, like, the... like, basically the precursor to playoffs, the play-in to playoffs. Hang on, potential medical journey down here. I don't think they'll do so. Suppose there's a chance that OMG could... take a win against LGD. They still have to play them. They're yet to play them the second time. Draw your sword, Yunara. Hell of an orbit. Hell of an orbit. Tell you what, draw your sword Ezreal is really funny because his Q remains the same range, but he just gets a ton of extra damage on it, and you can just E into melee, but like as God intended this time. What do you know about Nongshim Jungler Sponge? I knew that he was like a really hyped rookie from DRX challenges, right? Saber choosing... Oh, he does actually hit a couple of people there. They'll flash away from Rayo. Bardock was used onto the tower. Pillar used the... that's the ultimate used there too from Grizzly. Not very coordinated, that. They are struggling to land that engage. Of course, Xiaosha, the only real engage on the team. Draw your sword Ezreal, is this Hope or Elk on it? I wouldn't say Hope is that aggressive in Ezreal, is he? You know, funnily enough, I'd say someone like Jiwoo is like the crazy aggressive Ezreal. Or maybe Taeyun. Jiwoo, Taeyun, you know, these people that always jump forwards. And also recently in the LEC, Paddock's been like that, actually. Much to his negative there, sadly. So the world champion jungle is the problem? I definitely think Juhan was very, very poor. Yeah, Rayo's actually been pretty good here. Oh, Sven. Oh, Sven. Well, I thought that wasn't him going melee range. I just thought it was him getting caught out of position by a Skarner that one time around, wasn't it? Like overstaying around an objective. I didn't think that was him jumping in, was it? Okay, minute till Dragon. That'll be Soul for OMG. I think at that point, probably lights out. Who've been my MVP players from OMG? I think Moham's been pretty good actually. His Qs have been very, very good. And then Rayo on the Shinzo. Okay, Ghost pop by Moam to make sure that he can have his other summoners back. Presumably that was the flash, which then becomes unlocked because of that. Dragon in 20 seconds. Ultra Prime not in River yet. They're pushing up mid lane instead. So what happens? How do they win a fight? They need to get someone out of position and gun them down with the Trundle ult. That's not a bad hook onto Harry. Saber flashing away immediately. They're in a choke point. Maybe there's a chance for us to do Raw ult doing damage. Not bad. High Chow's into the back line now. They do manage to kill off the jungler. High Chow is gunning them down. Not bad though. They've gotten a load of kills there. And I think Ultra Prime walk away with the one fight. Yeah, they do. 2 for 1. They'll get the dragon. Not bad from them this time. High Chow a little late to the play. Rayo caught out. Couldn't live even with his ultimate. And they'll make sure that the soul does not go over to OMG.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So, it's a good hook onto the backline, and then when you're going through a choke point like this, it does become a bit of an issue against the Aurora. You're just going to dunk the ultimate on everyone. flashed out of that Bard ult, so a big part of the engage is now gone as well. 3-man Bard ult it ended up being. And the problem with the Shinzo is he ended up going too close to the Aurora. Couldn't escape the damage from Saber. Sven used E to kill a crab and then Skarner caught him. Right, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I forgot how that exact moment played out. But even then, that's not like him going melee. That's just him misusing skills, you know? More generically speaking. Or generally, rather. Okay, so Baron's alive. Next Dragon in 4 minutes. OMG were pretty far ahead of the game. They are still pretty far ahead of the game. Harry also just turned on Flame Spitter on Hannah, who blew him up in return, tanked the damage of Barrier. That is something which Yunara has been known to do. Has that Hurricane not the Fiend Hunter Bolt second? I did notice that earlier, but I just didn't find time to comment it. I probably should have done. Well, there's been a crazy amount to talk about this game, really. Actualizer on Hai Chao. Hai Chao could just explode someone if he gets into range of them too. I think that Rise is one of the better anti-Yunara champions, because whenever she's in range to auto-attack you, typically you can just run at her and kill her. Tends to be the way of things. OMG trying to re-secure vision around topside. On the whole, doing a better job of pushing and getting vision down. Rumble not at the fight yet. Now, if a fight starts really quickly, Rumble won't be here, and that could be a problem. Not bad damage, you know? Protobelt, Shadow Flame. See whether Saber goes towards a Death Cap or a Zonya's in the next item. So this could be a Banshee Sue against the double AP. Grizzly Quad on top river. Bardot used... Scott, hang on, that was a smite on the... And he's even lost that too. Doesn't even get that. Potential of a teleport for an equalizer. That would be kind of scary. Flashing in, the damage isn't quite there. Maybe the equalizer will change that. Harry not going to be able to burn them down. That's a flash forward, though, from Hai Chao. Goes actualizing and takes down the Yunara. 80 carry down means that I suppose they could look to turn onto the Baron. OMG way more decisive this game. And when they actually turn to make the play, feels like they actually have the go buttons to make it happen. Onto the Baron, starting to burn down pretty heavily. Trundle, no flash, no ult. It's a route from the Rise. It was really scary. I think they peel off the Baron now. Yeah, I don't think they have the HP. Xiaoxia has Ghost and Heal. Can't flash for a hook there. Dragon in a minute and a half now. OMG not able to secure the Baron. Hai Chao is scary as heck, man. Hai Chao is so scary. Now that they changed first pick, is red or blue side even is blue side higher or even win right now? You know what? I'd have to check. I'd have to check. In fact, I'll go check now. Look at the value that Rayo's bring to these team fights. If Mom hits that Q, by the way, that's instant game over, I think. It's instant game over. It's actually very even in win rate between red and blue side. I'm just not sure about first pick and ban, because it doesn't show that on a lot of the stats websites now. I'd like to know whether first pick or last pick has more wins. I suppose majority of the time red side is the first pick now. No Q hitting from Moham though. OMG still at the advantage, 20 seconds till Dragon. Quick misses, Valkyrie used. Quite a long cooldown that Valkyrie. No flash on the Nautilus to flash ult or flash hook someone. Jumping onto Xiaoxia. He is not very tanky. The Rise is really scary. Bardot puts him into position, but it does mean that the Equalizer is not really doing that much. Still kill off the Nautilus. No engage now. I don't know how Ultra Prime do much about that. Maybe that will be enough. The Aurora's not bad either. Very good flash forward from Rayo, though, to secure the front line. And there's just no damage from Ultra Prime. There's just no damage. They can't get through it. Henna's doing okay damage against Moham. At the end of the day, it is just that Bard. Ocean Soul for OMG, and this jungle swap. The world champion Juhan being subbed out for Rayo. Juhan, the champion from 2022 with DRX, has been a huge change for OMG. Rayo, this up and comer. slotting into OMG, played into Massey up a little bit. And OMG look like they're really benefiting from the decisiveness of this jungler. What a great fight again from Haichao, by the way, just gunning down Xiaoxia again. Rare jumps over. He puts the Nautilus ult on. He tries to hook away. Damage is already done, though, really, at that point. Leonchad actually has a decent flip back here, realizing, okay, there is no engage. Only way we can do something here is get this. Does get the double Q, the double W. Almost gets into an all-out, but he dies really before he can use any of the all-out skills. Now, before this, I was thinking that OMG were looking like the worst team in the LPL. But maybe this jungle swap makes them a little bit more potent. Maybe it does. So now Ocean Soul makes this very hard for Ultra Prime to win now. You know, I think particularly the Xin Zhao is just going to be unbearable. Even though you've got the Trundle to try and ult him and take down his resists. Also, Ryze is going to be a pain in the butt. He's got a lot of HP. A load of HP. He's got a Saras as well, so you have to cut through that shield. Xiaoxia, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like even if you go for this long flank... Hang on, maybe they can catch Haichao. He doesn't have flash. That's a really good backstep. He's got the Realm Warp. Bopped out of it by the pillar. It's going quite low, but then even the melee range Trundle can't do anything, and Rail bumps back Henna back into the team with the ultimates. Liangtren trying to get an all-out, but I think he'll just find himself all out of gas instead, and indeed he will. The Ocean Soul toting OMG will walk through the bot side, and I think that'll be the end of the game. In fairly quick fashion, just over 30 minutes, 40 seconds on the next respawn with the wave coming in with them and the Baron. I think OMG are going to walk it into the Nexus. A creative flank from Xiaoxia doesn't really work out, and OMG, well, I guess the story for them is all about this jungle change. It's fairly early into the game. They don't have any they don't have any of the grubs. There's a respawn from Xiaoxia. I don't think it'll matter, though. I don't think it'll matter. He'll walk up. OMG will end this first game. Just over 31 minutes. Xiaoxia will die again, bringing his death total to 0 and 5. OMG, unexpected from me. 12k up at the end. Take a fairly dominant game 1. Corki just seems to be quite solid against Yunara. That is not true. Yunara has been massively beating out the Corki in most of the matchups, which are like support even. We're going to change the music over. Yeah, it's more about the support matchup in terms of the laning phase. On the whole, Yunara is seen as a very good champion into the Corki, so I disagree completely on that, actually. They pick Corki into Yunara a lot. It's a complete bait. Yeah. So if you look in top tier regions, Yunara has like a 55% win rate against Corki. I think the way that you beat Yunara is outranging and outspacing her, or you out DPS with a, Aphelios. Yeah, you out DPS with Aphelios. Although, funnily enough, actually, Taeyeon just won a game versus the Corki as the Yunara. Just went 6-1 versus it. Also, particularly in LCK, there's a lot of very lopsided matchups right now, so keep that in mind. Yes, Varus is very good. Yes, so the champions which I think are genuinely good into the Yunara is Misfortune, Varus, and... yeah, Misfortune, Varus, Aphelios. Yeah, the problem with the Aphelios is that you need to not draft into like a crazy backline dive comp, which can just explode you. Stuff like Malphite becomes a big problem, right? Post-game graph. Great damage from Haichao. Okay, I'm going to put an ad break. I'm going to get myself another coffee. Be right back, folks. You want to know what I did during that break? I did half a shave. I didn't have time, so I only got halfway through the shave. Hell yeah. I've got like half a, like, I don't know, half a week's worth of beard growth on half a face. Hey, Tech, good to see you. Oh, I got some Riftbound cards the other day, by the way, Tech. Picks for it, I haven't? Nah. I'm too wise for that. I know what fuckers can do with bad photos. A laugh in the other break, that is the plan. Yeah. I realized, like, oh god, if I gotta record something, I should probably, like, shape up. You know? Okay, so, OMG, the jungle swap looks to be working really well for them. Jihan was really not doing very well in their previous series. BLG 2-0 top Esports or not? Well, they had a load of drama the other day, so I hope that it doesn't, like, completely dunk on their, stability and their chemistry and stuff. Which is a worry. I think you only shaved half your face, like Two-Face from Batman. Yeah, you can, until you see evidence to the contrary, that's what's happened, you know? I just want BLG to go through one season without some mental boom blow up. I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know what's happening with that. It's like, if you look at last year, right, things didn't work out for BLG, and we could tell that there were flaws throughout the entire season, and they couldn't solve those problems throughout the entire year. We'll change audio over now. Okay, should be soon back into game. Hey, Cyber Nudie. I'd imagine Ultra Prime get themselves first pick, but we're on red side this time. In terms of draft, hey Kuko, good to see you. How's LCK going, everyone? How's LCK going? BD's playing Ari? Huh? How well is he playing it? just curiosity. Longchamp playing real good. I think that, yeah, I mean, it was really sad to see Scout really fall off last year, but Scout's a very good player. If like, the thing about Scout is that he revolutionized the macro of a team. For a couple of years now, whenever something happens in a side lane, I look to see, in terms of side lane meta, I look to see what Scout's doing with it. He's very, very good at figuring out how to break open side lane turrets. Scout is genuinely a very good macro player. It's just that last year it was so hard to like reconcile that with just the awful macro of JDG on the whole. I'm gonna have to watch more Nongshin games. Do you think you're shot calling? Shot calling tends to be a bit of a shared thing in most pro games now, really. There isn't really one shot caller for a lot of teams. Into the second draft, OMG Ultra Prime do have first pick. They're also on blue side, so OMG I presume chose red side. So I think first game in the series, OMG had a red side on first pick, and I believe... Yeah, so they would have had... So Ultra Prime would have had choice for game 2 because they lost. Pharah's gone, Jace gone. Still needs to take out Orianna, really. Yo, he solo killed Yone? I mean, Ari has a really good level 1 to level 3 matchup versus Yone, and then after that it gets a little bit rough. You should be able to control the lane from the first 3 levels. That's LCK and LCP Hot Wheels. It's not just LCK, but it is only LCP and LCK. Orianna is banned. There is a Zero, I suppose. Haichao does play it. Saber, I don't think has I don't think he wants to play that as much. Jarvan first picked. Not as many good combos with it. No Rumble, no Orianna. Malphite is open. That's true. And Malphite will go straight the way through the picks and bans, actually. Huh. I mean, Malphite's been kind of omnipresent here in the LPL. Surprise in terms of the bans. Surprised to see that get through. Very strange indeed. Ooh, Lucian locked in now. That's a bit different. Lucian, Nami. So now, is that meant to combat something like a Seraphine they think is going to come through? Vi is notoriously quite bad into Nami too, actually. So Vi flies in, gets hit by a Nami bubble and dies. Tends to be the way things work. And it is that Seraphine. So Seraphine locked in. OMG going for the hyper lane pressure bot lane. Our Seraphine has jumped out of the woodwork in the last week or two in LCK and LCP. No, and LPL rather. Haichao is the Silas player on the server. Saber plays it too, Harold. Just because one player's good at it doesn't mean the other one doesn't play it too. Saber is a Silas player. Saber in general is a bit of a melee assassin player. Yeah, so he likes his like Akali. He's played a couple of the melees around that team. He actually played a Zed game a while ago. Renekton and the Jax banned away from Liangchen. Makes me think that Harry just wants to take a bit of a frontline matchup there. I guess he could just slam Sion and just have Sion with our Seraphine to peel. Yeah, Ghost, this happened a lot in the last week actually. The Zahen taken away from Harry. Ari as well from Haichao. Huh, what would you be banning the Ari from? Maybe do you want to pick Talia for Saber? The Ambessa locked in now. Oh yeah, that's fair actually. The Ambessa doesn't like either of those matchups. That's actually more telling. Yeah, this is actually a very good Sylas angle. Ari's quite good into the Sylas early lane. I know that Sylas used to counter that matchup very, very hard, but now actually Ari can fight very well against the Sylas, I think. And it is that Talia. Makes sense when you ban away that Ari. Na locked into the Ambessa. Liang Chen, probably one of the weaker bits of Ultra Prime, sadly. Oh, now you think about that Silas. That's a pretty good Silas angle even into the Talir, actually. You've got the Mega Na. We've got the Jarvan Dunk. The Nami tidal wave's not bad either. I like it. Haichao locks it in. I mean, both players hovered it. They both saw really good ults on the other side, but it's Haichao that gets it. And Haichao is really, really good on this pick, folks. He is. Okay, so into... Oh, I need to run adverts really quickly, folks. 1 second. Just so we don't get them in-game themselves, let's get into it. And if you don't want ads, you know, subscribe. So sorry, probably is going to be like just over the first bit of the game. My bad. And onto the rift we go. Grizzly walking over, trying to get some vision down, and will do. They'll spot that ward though, so Rayo knows that the enemy team knows. Which donuts did you have this morning? I have one of the circular ones. I think the cinnamon sugar one. Haichao trading E for Q. Phase rush down on the Talia. Might be useful to use that in the early parts of lane. Oh, that's a really good hit. That actually allows him to contest this a lot better. You know, the Silas is pretty okay trading a little bit of HP like that. So that's not going for the Doran's shield, going for the second wind, and also going for Doran's ring. Saber's gone for the bone plating, so we won't have as much sustain there. First strike for the Lucian tends to be the case when you're alongside an army. Saw that from Gala, the other thingy. Cinnamon sugar one is really good. Yeah, I know, right? It's really good. I like it a lot. Grizzly's going to walk over towards these routes. Will be seen. They know that they know the ward's there as well. So we've got the mismatched jungle path. We've got Vi going top to bot, Java going bot to top. Really good accuracy from Moham on the Seraphine Qs right now. Expecting a 2-0 here. I think with how Rayo looked last game, I'm also expecting that now. Haichao is also on a very comfortable matchup. I think that OMG looked a lot more decisive in that last game, and that's been one of my biggest criticisms of Group Nirvana has been, and Group Perseverance too, basically. Basically the non-Group Percent group teams in LPL is that lack of decisiveness. Haichao stopping the recall there coming out from Saber. Less good on the Q accuracy there from Moham that time. Ooh, got the double ebb and flow, but it get hit nastily in return, so has to heal. DDD's got a full Blackfire. Oh, he's going Blackfire, Ari. Yeah, a lot of solo Q Ari players are enjoying that item build right now. Haichao's doing quite well at keeping Saber in lane, actually. Because Saber really wants to back for a tier. Haichao doesn't need to do the same thing. He might actually be able to get a second... like a second recall stop in here, and in fact he does. Saber's the one that cancels it. Scuttle traded across the map. Haichao's going to recall and put a ward down in the enemy jungle. That's nice, actually. Haichao's done a pretty good job of this early game. He's going to recall and put a ward down in Raptors as he recalls, I think. Oh, no he doesn't. I thought he'd do it as he was recalling. Because then he'd have a ward on Krugs and Raptors. Give you like full vision of what Grizzly wanted to do, but I suppose your wards are very useful. Has Dark Seal and Amped Home now for Haichao. Is fairly happy. Tier and boots for Saber, so way more AP for Haichao. So Grizzly's going to be spotted on here. Huh. He is going to be spotted around here, but I guess he's waiting for the camp respawn. No full information of him. Wait, hang on. Haicho's recalling again? Did he have another component? He's got the refill pot. Is this going to delay his role quest a bit? Because he's stood outside the lane a fair amount. Someone in LCK Twitch chat saying BDD is a top 3 LCK mid. Not down on this hill. The actual controversial take is that Vikler is currently a top 5 mid in the world. There's no way the Rayo isn't a ReZero reference. That's true! Hang on, how did I not see that? Yeah, that's completely true. By the way, this is a controversial opinion. Like, Emilia is like, I don't know. Like, it's completely fine for the main character to like them instead of Rem, you know? Just saying. A lot of people took, like, genuine personal offense that he didn't, you know, fall for Rem or Ram. Either of them, I suppose. I'm like, yo, he's been pretty clear from the start. That's completely fine. Emilia, exactly, Takano. Like, that's a personal opinion for myself, but, like, either way, it's completely valid. Ooh, Hannah, you don't want to walk like that. It gets rooted up because the Ashe slow from the auto attack. It's the power of the Ashe Seraphine. Great trading that. Lose a couple of minions to go for that trade. Bot lane's going pretty well for them, though. Please don't tell me you said Vikler. Yes, Vikler is legitimately a top 5 mid in the world right now. He's been solo killing Chovy. He's been winning lanes pretty heavily. He's been putting his pressure across the map. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Vikler is literally a top 5 mid in the world right now. Anyway, dive onto the bot side. Bubble lands. Damage coming through. Moam tanks it. 1 kill easily put through. Hannah hits the dirt. Easy dive. I mean, they have a flash on Hannah, but it's so hard to actually survive that dive there at that point. They just don't have the damage or the HP. How's Vikler only 22? I know he's been around for a bit, hasn't he? Because he was on, he started on KT in, what, 22? It's him and Arya both on the same KT roster team. I remember them fighting for the starting spot. And I'll have people know that Arya beat Chovy in a best of 3 and kind of diffed him individually in one series in 22. LCK. Yeah, it was FlyQuest Vikler after 22, but in 22, I think it was 23 for Vikler on FlyQuest, right? Where he started well and then completely fell off. I think that was the case. Oh yeah, Winsome on that team. Oh yeah, true. You know who's an actual top 5 mid in the world and isn't even recognized, Nemesis? Oh my god. Okay. You know, funnily enough, he just said he was the worst mid in LEC because he doesn't want anything to go backlash on him, so I wouldn't, you know. Let's wait and see how the rest of the LEC regular season plays out, you know? I wonder in this pro play meta, what might be the win rate for the team that gets first dragon? It's pretty high because typically winning first dragon is a sign of winning bot lane, and winning bot lane tends to be a hallmark of winning game, so... Great vision control from OMG in the bot side of the map, and they spot Grizzly again. Only a slight vision... It's only a slight lead for OMG, but I'm feeling quite good for their chances right now. With Haichao being in a good position this game in the draft. Does that mean we have 4 LCK mids there and 1 LPL or 5 LCK? Well, I would have said Knight, but Knight's last series or 2 weren't... Well, Honky just individually outperformed him, so top 5's a bit weird all over the place right now. But I think top 5 is like... I think Showmake is really good, Fake is really good right now. Hang on, potential jump in bot side. They do have double flashes. Keeping your flashes available as Starry and Moham is really, really important, by the way. Yeah, I think Showmaker, Faker are definitely in the top 5. I would have said Knight, but I'm not sure on that now. If you'd asked me a week ago, it'd be a bit more clear. I think some of the players have taken a bit of a dip, though. Chovy probably is in the top 5, although his first week wasn't fantastic, actually. Grubs has started by Ultra Prime. No contest from OMG. So it'll be all 3 going over. Oof. Oh, ow, no, hang on, that's a... Not sure about that one, Starry. Not sure about that. There was no cleanse on Hannah, but I don't know. There's no real way you can follow up with that, no? You would have had to throw Moham's ult in there too. His cleanse only just come back up. Oh, the Talir ult been stolen. Of course, I mean, it's your lane opponent, easiest one to get. Another plate's going to get taken. That means it's going to be even more gold toward, more points towards the role quest. Seraphine seems super strong in Enchanter matchups. Yeah, she has a longer range than the other Enchanters, is a big thing. And her first auto attack is really scary with the... stage presence? No, that's the W. Whatever the passive auto is. It's kind of crazy. I heard you said Kerr is a top 5 mid laner in the world on Ahri. Yeah, Kerr is a very good Ahri player, specifically. His Ahri mechanics and his way he thinks about his angles are really good. High note is the passive? Yeah, that makes sense. I thought that was the Q. Or is that the beat drop? No, that's the E. Justice for the Bracken. BDD's going Cosmic Drive second on Ahri. Yeah, Blackfire Cosmic Drive is a fairly common build. Depends on the comp. I think it's a bit vegan. You know what I mean? I think it's a bit vegan. Yeah. Like, I personally still prefer Malignance. It accelerates the game more. Yeah, top 5 Ahri players in the world. I'm more confident on the top 5 overall. Scout over Vikla. Scout's had some stinkers too, though. I would have said, yeah, Vikla over Scout right now, but... There's a chance of Honkyu getting into that list, by the way. Honkyu is really fucking good. Ooh, that is a hell of a kill. Oh my god. What can he do? Oh my god, he's gone. Oh, Saber. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Jesus, okay. Cullen comes out. The wave's coming out too. Moam flashing the wave just to keep himself safe. Holy moly, the damage in mid. Saber's just not allowed to play the game. Get a plate off of that too. Getting to the point now, by the way, where lane roll quests are going to start becoming a thing. They're going to start being completed. Dragon started. OMG. They really want to dunk on the Seraphine without that ult. They don't have the fight ult. If that had hit, if that double root had hit, it would have been crazy amount of CC afterwards. It would have been Ashe ult and the Seraphine ult. Just perma CC. Doesn't stop the recall there. Huh. Thought it would have done. Predator belt completed by... Hyde Shao, very powerful now. Barrier blown by Starry, just wanted to stay safe. Bot lane quest has been completed by that Ashe now, nice and early. So that's at 11:20 odd. We'll see when Hannah completes his. Because of course, the earlier you complete the bot lane role quest, the more value you get. Oh, Saber, no! There's no Viol. I actually think he could have gotten away without using that. Using both summoners there? You can tell Saber's a bit traumatized by that last kill, I think. Is there a favorite in this matchup with the two fairly even? Well, before Rayo switched in, I would have said OMG were the worst team in LPL. Oh, that's a Jarvan ult. Oh no, Silas is really scary with this ult, by the way. That's an Ashe arrow onto him, gets the E on too, ducks out of the way with the Proto Belt. They get themselves the Dragon, and they force the flash out of Xiaoxia. Ultra Prime start Dragon when they had no safety to do so, and they get blasted. I think as soon as the Jarvan ult gets stolen, you have to back off. Is Bin playing today? Yeah, Bin is playing today, yeah. Why would you leave Silas open? What's good into Silas? Depends on the team comp. Stuff like Orianna and most long-range mages really dunk on him in lane and you can't play the game. So he doesn't get seen until a lot later into draft nowadays. And only by specialists. Anyone with significant range tends to beat him. Also, Akali beats Silas too. Right now. Has done for a little while. Yeah, so, I mean, just look at the CC chain. Like, you can't sit here as a blue side Dragon team. You're just going to get set trapped in the pit. There's way too much engage. Highchat gets himself his role quest off of that kill, by the way, too. But yeah, so folks, just catching up with what happened with BLG. It seems like Bin... Well, the rumor is that, you know, he had like a verbal altercation with someone high up at BLG. And used quite harsh language, and then potentially stormed out. However, apparently he's since apologized and is now starting on the roster again. When Silas gets these drafts where he can find decent ultimates, he can seem to become S tier. By the way, the most broken skill which Silas has isn't his ultimate most of the time, it's his W. W is Silas' strongest skill. It is such a disgusting heal and bit of damage. Very low cooldown too. Not bad shielding onto Starry, but the culling still takes off a third of his HP. Rayo has his ult again. Doesn't have the ult. The flash, that's the one. No, Mikhail. Hang on a second. He can jump over the wall. They spotted him. I was actually wondering if they'd just throw out an Ashe ult and then see if Highcheck could follow up. Could have thrown the Nami ult to them too, actually. That's an Ashe ult dodged away from. Highchow. That is so much CC. This is so much CC. Stole the Nami ult as well. Why not? Yeah, you can't live through this combo. You have to be very confident about playing the map. There's a mini Nart. He'll hop away. It's not bad, I suppose. The wave will get pushed in. He won't be able to recall, though. He is dead. Make no mistake about it. Tower shots going on to Highchow. Question is who he's going to die to. Well, he's probably going to die to the Ambassador. Flash is out. Hang on. He's about to go Mega. Is he going to die before he can get it? Yeah, he does. Highcheck gets the kill. The Protobelt claiming the kill. To waste the flash and still dies. Ling Chen, that's really not great. Oh, Ultra Prime. Look, they've not had a great split, don't get me wrong, but it looked like at least Saber was potentially in a position to carry this team. Well, if this game does end quickly, it does mean they'll more quickly get into the BLG Top Esports series. And like I said, I've got like basically 2.5 hours. So I gotta hope that the series are short, folks. Otherwise, I gotta dip out at the end. They hovered Silas, then didn't pick it. Yeah, the thing is though, once you lock the Talir, you know that the Silas has a pretty okay matchup into it. If you pick the Silas blind, there's a chance that you end up getting like range matchup in mid lane, which is like a more oppressive lane matchup. So someone like Victor really destroys Silas too. That was still up and available. And it would have been okay with the enemy team, I suppose. Do you mean LPL in general or Nirvana in general goes? Because yeah, Nirvana, the team fighting is definitely something which has been a bit rough for a course team. But then again, these are literally our bottom tier teams. So I wouldn't take this series as indicative of the whole. If you look at like IG versus, yeah, if you look at like some of the JDG AL games or IG JDG, they were some really fun team fights. Although on the whole, yeah, LCK's been better team fighting teams. On the whole. Highchow stealing the culling. Oh yeah. Oh, owie. Yeah, I remember people forget that there is actually an AP scaling on the Lucian ult. For AP Lucian, WR is incredibly high damage. My old my DOQ partner, Music Man Dan, he played a lot of AP Lucian. He also played AP Twitch before it was meta. Ooh, was he potentially looking at Harry? I don't think you want that, do you? I think Harry just runs at you. Yeah, that's half your HP gone. Okay. He was also like an old Yorick player, Rise Karthus mid player before they were fun as well. Before they were popular, rather. Fun's a subjective thing. Missed that guy. Okay, turret taken by Ultra Prime. They are one turret up, but they're down in terms of gold. And it's a soul point again early for OMG, and it's a Mountain Rift too. Yeah, that's going to be nasty. Trying to get through all of the shields with the Seraphine up as well. It's just going to be hellish. Hey, Zerf, good to see you. Have any of you, by the way, this is going to sound strange, but is anyone an archer in chat? Anyone do archery? I've always wanted to learn. Because I grew up around Sherwood Forest. I've done like a couple of times at, you know, activity centers / fairgrounds and whatever. Like, I'm pretty decent, but I'd actually like to learn, you know? Don't really know what I'm doing with it. I figure if I learn archery, I've already got the fencing thing covered. So at that point, I'm like halfway through my medieval combat class. Gotta learn how to use this like a spear. Spear, the king of the battlefield. Okay, potential fight into the enemy jungle. Saber gonna get the flick back. That's not a bad combo actually. Rhea should die here. And he will. OMG choose not to engage. It's a good pick off. Good pick off. Saber, good pick out of the fog of war that. And that's the first signs of life from Ultra Prime for a little while. It's their first kill of the game. Our first kill of the game. Learn how to throw the javelin. Fun fact, there's a banned way to throw javelins at official events because it involves like spinning around and throwing it, using kind of like almost doing it like a shot put / a hammer throw. And that's been banned because it's just clearly too dangerous. Yeah. You got horse riding covered by Mimosuma? Exactly. I'm gonna ride into battle with like Say and Sky. Did Alexander the Great have angling and scheming? Oh my god. The other side of the fog wall. That's a very dead fish. Sorry, I'm laughing too much like Alexander the Great's companions having different Musume ults. Oh my god. Battling against like King Darius, and he just hears, "Behold thine emperor's divine might." Oh god. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to send that. I know Raccoon is currently streaming. I'm gonna have to clip that, and I'm gonna have to send him that clip. By the way, for those of you who are Uma fans in chat, there's a streamer who raids us and we raid them. Cool blokes from Australia, a guy called Raccoon, who holds like community tournaments on his stream. Oh, thank you, Montes. And Raccoon RS. So he played a lot of RuneScape back in the day. Well, he even still does, but yeah. It's a cool little tournament if that's your thing. I won my first one earlier this year. It was very cool. So at least Ultra... so that's a recall coming through from Talia to help go towards top side. Crystallize on top lane here. The problem is, you know, Ultra Prime, they're still well and good. They are getting vision control on bot side, which is very important. They need to win the next dragon fight or this game is just over, folks. It is just over. Vision control now being fought over by Xiaoshu and Grizzly together. Minotaur Dragon now. High Chat's back out onto the map, has a needlessly large rod and a 7-stack Dark Seal on top of the Rift Maker and the Proto Belt. Ouch. Saber has Zonya's second. That might be important. It does mean that it's harder to engage onto him with the Vi. Starry's at 2 items, a little bit behind Lucian, who's close to the Infinity Edge, actually. Didn't get it before the Dragon, though. That is important. If they'd gotten Infinity Edge for Henna, that'd be such a big damage uptick. And they can't recall him now. It's too close to the objective. So no Infinity Edge for that fight. That's a problem. Okay, so OMG, they have every flash available. On the other side, everything but the heal really available for the Nami. Oh, okay. Flash away from the flick back. Teleport in. Asher misses. Henna's engaged onto. If they lose the Lucian, that could just be the end of the fight. Culling comes through. Starry still has his summoners too. The stolen culling is a hell of a lot of damage. And there's a flash away from the Ambassador. Liangchen teleporting in. Has himself that shield from the roll quest. Jumping forwards. Flashing away is Starry. Henna jumping forwards himself. Good damage onto Haichao. He has teleport. He can recall. He also has the empowered recall from the boots. That's important. He can go back into the play very, very quickly. Where's he going to? Right under the mid lane turret. He won't have another ultimates to steal for the next while. Starry, no summoners. That's important. No Meganar now. Talia. Walling them off. Dragon getting taken lower. Haichan not flick back. Rayo's going to go straight onto the backline, but there's no follow-up. The Encore helps. Gets onto the couple of them, but he's just going to die. He's gone way too deep. Liangchen not going to die on the other side of it too. Harry, no ultimate just yet. Haichao can steal another ult. Which one did he steal? Probably the Cataclysm, and he gets it onto 3! Oh my god, Haichao, that is disgusting. He goes golden. The rest of the team fighting around him, but I think Haichao has sunk the dagger in. The stolen dunk. gives the 3-pointer to OMG. I know it's not 3 points, don't question my basketball knowledge. They'll get themselves the Mountain Soul, and OMG, through that magnificent team fight, take the dragon despite not having a smite. Haichao, what a fight from him. 10 stack Dark Seal. He teleported in. The enhanced recall back into the teleport menus back on time. It's too far from Vi. Look, the Encore is actually very good. The Encore is actually very good. There's just no follow-up. Now, Starry's dealing with Yangshen. Baron's going to go down in the picture-in-picture. Of course, Haichao had already E'd backwards. What a Silas fight. Gets the stolen Cataclysm, dunks it onto 3. Henna jumps away, but it's too late to get rid of the damage. And at that point, the fight's kind of over. Your melee range against the Silas with this amount of damage, dead. Thanks, Nymaera, for telling me that Haichao was a decent Silas. He is a very good Silas. Now, the thing about Haichao is that he came in as a real bolt of lightning, and his first year was actually very good mechanically. The way that I would say about Haichao, that I'd phrase Haichao is, he always looks for the outplay, but often outplays himself. But he will always look for the outplay. We've got Harry, Starry. Where's Merry and Cherry? Hey, they're pronounced differently. You've got Harry, Starry, and then Merry and Cherry. So you've got Harry, Merry, Cherry, but Starry isn't the same as that. Haichao has a couple of dashes. We'll get away from the culling. There's Sherry. Sherry would be in there. Terry. Terry Wogan. Miss Terry Wogan. Some objective bounties picked up in that mid lane. Saber pushing up top lane. So guys, if you don't recall, you will lose the game. Guys, if you don't recall, you will lose the game. There's a Baron buff. You will lose the game. I know you have 3 grubs. I'm sure that feels good for now. They do take a turret. Haichao stops the recall from the Gnar, by the way, so he won't be around. Haichao doesn't have teleport himself. Inhibitor down. So they are back in base. They take... Carry is not the same as Harry, Starry, Merry, or... Carry is also different from all of them. I'm sure there's an accent where it's pronounced Starry. Starry. No, it shouldn't be. It should be Starry, if anything, right? Hang on, Grizzly. Potentially looking to drop a flag into that brush there. Ooh, Control will just jump down. He should know that someone's around the corner. Blue buff now being started. Jumping forwards. Grizzly is really not feeling happy, though. The Ambassador gets into the back line. The Encore after catches Header. The cleanse will come out, but it won't cleanse the sins of his team. OMG, a very decisive series today. And that's something which I'm really happy to see. A very decisive series. Haichao on the side, gets the Weaver's Wall. Puts on his best Oasis impression to say, anyway, here's Weaver's Wall. By the way, a hot take. Look, guys, Wonderwall is actually a good song. You've just heard it too many times. This is the same problem with Nickelback. You've just heard the song too many times, folks. The radio has ruined the song, not the song itself. Mid lane tower will be the next to fall. They go straight towards top lane? Yeah, they do. Why not? Why not? Baron buff's fallen off. Won't stop them from taking this one, though. Oh, what a disgusting engage that OMG have managed to pull off this game. So many go buttons. The Ashe Seraphine, if you don't shut down the Ashe Seraphine early and they consistently retain their flashes for the big fights, they are very, very hard to deal with. The deal with this bot lane is you must remove their summoners at every available opportunity. I don't think Silas has a bad matchup. Yeah, he absolutely does. There are some lane matchups which are basically unplayable. Yeah, Silas has some really bad lane matchups, honestly. Oh, Yangshen, the arrow! Look at the arrow! It's not even that, it's the Ambassador ult! He can't teleport away. He won't be able to get back to base. And I think the prehistoric Yordle will be once again left in the history books, this time as part of an obituary. Haichao, I suppose forced something in mid lane, lost his flash. Pushing in towards that top turret. Not taken down just yet. Top lane turret now will fall. Don't even need the Baron buff. Who needs it? You know, they're walking in with the Mountain Soul. The extra shields from the Seraphine. They have scaled. Like a fish. It's another inhibitor down. The mid lane one, the only one that survives. Elder is up in 20 seconds. Trying to... I think Ambessa just kills you here if you fight this too hard, folks. Nami ult's been stolen. Onto Grizzly. And the CC's just insane. He lands throughout the fight. Hydra jumping forwards. Oh my god, the damage is just so absurd. Another E lands. Hydra, give him the MVP. That's not a bad dunk, though. The Megadar, the Cataclysm. They take down 2. I think with the Arch Seraphine alive, though, it won't matter. A recall in their faces. Why not? A flick back onto the Seraphine, though. Gets another kill, OMG. Maybe get a little bit overconfident, but Grizzly goes down even with the great play from Saber. The next turret will fall on the Nexus. Haicho will get stunned. The E will miss. I think the game ends here anyway, though. Before 30 minutes, just by a second or two. Why not? They'll make it just over. OMG will finish the series 2-0. A jungle swap will finish things off. And Ultra Prime will lose to OMG to become the last place team in the LPL. Silas doesn't do well versus Vax and Galio. Yeah, he hates Vex Galio. He honestly... Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't love playing against Orianna either. Syndra is a pretty bad matchup. Because her ult doesn't mean anything to you. OMG, they won. Yeah, OMG, they won indeed. Hey, OMG were good here today. Very decisive. Very decisive from OMG. And what that means, folks, is that it's more likely that I can cover, like, the whole of the BLG Top Esports series, which is really cool, and it's good for me. If it goes to 3 games, we might be in trouble, but hey, we'll see. So we get to see what happens with Bin and the BLG roster. Yeah, Silas definitely has bad mid lane matchups for sure. Okay, so I gotta do the other half of the shave. Yeah, I shaved half the beard, and not the other half. I should really go do that. Okay, folks, I'm gonna go. I am actually gonna go on a quick break. I'm gonna go put some adverts on. There will be an interview at some point. I'll try and put the audio back on for that. But there should be. Oh, hang on. Actually, that's a point. That might come on. That sometimes they throw straight to the interview. In fact, if the interview comes on right now, I'll make sure the audio is on for that. Let me check where else Silas loses this in solo queue anyway. Oh, it's basically unplayable versus Gwen at all stages of the game. If you ever play that into him, Fizz destroys him. But no one plays that. Cogmore apparently is very good versus him. Didn't realize that. Cassiopeia is absolutely unplayable for him. Cassiopeia is unplayable for Silas. He loses at all points in the game. I think Silas is particularly good versus Orianna Syndra. Not on current patch. Because of the nerfs to Doran's shield and to Second Wind, it's really not the same anymore. Neferi destroys him. And Nivea you basically can't play against. He loses to Aurora. Aurora destroys him. Echo beats him. Mel beats him very hard right now. Although it didn't used to be the case. Don't know why that's changed. Cannon, it destroys him. He actually loses to Ari right now as well, but because of the changes to Doran's shield and Doran's and Second Wind. Beats Veigar very heavily. Lane sustain is bad now. It's worse than it was before. It's still like okay, but you'll notice everyone's going for Doran's ring rather than Doran's shield anymore because Doran's shield got nerfed and second wind got nerfed. So it hits a lot of the melee mid laners a lot. He loses to Ryze right now too, which I didn't think that would be the case, but I guess Ryze is tanky enough to shrug off his bow. You don't pick to win lane? Sure, but you were talking about matchups. You were talking about specifically matchups, so I'm answering your question on that. Or your point on that. Hard loses Diana if everyone wants to pick that up. But I mean, in terms of pro stuff, right? LeBlanc destroys him. Well, but then again, LeBlanc lane bullies pretty much everyone, really. Zoe's very hard. Yeah, Vex is pretty unplayable. Swain is too tanky for him. I like Vel'Koz into Sylas. Yeah, I mean, he can't do much with your ult, and if you ever get to Banshees, then he really struggles, because you can outrange his Q poke a lot. But there are definitely ways where he can just, like, flank you and just, you die immediately, really. Basically, if Sylas can remain within 10 CS of you, yeah, you can pick him. But, yeah. Wait, fuck, marry, kill, Ari LeBlanc, Syndra? Ooh. Okay. That's a hell of a trio. Yeah, I feel like the problem is, if you kill LeBlanc, right, doesn't that just mean there's like a million grudges you've just spawned? It might actually be like... Yeah, it might be safest to kill Syndra. I don't think she has enough allies. No, yeah, so you don't kill LeBlanc. But I ain't marrying her, so you know what's left. That's like process elimination, you know? Damn, okay. The real content on stream. This is what you really turn up for. Okay, we should have an interview soon, I think. True, Montes, true. Player of the game is Reo. For that last game, it should have been Haichao. That is personal preference, Sylph. You are free to have your opinion. You're wrong, but you can have your opinion. Riot need Riot to bring Fizz back. I think that Fizz should be played at. There should be. I think Fizz should be like niche viable. He's meant to be an engage assassin, you know. Hey, Katari, good to see you. The problem is he's not even niche viable right now, which is the problem. Okay, come on, let's get into this next series already. I think they'll do the post-game interview. I don't know how long it'll be, but typically it should have been now. I reckon they'll be going to stage now for it. Yep, there we go. What is
2-0 战胜
happening with
UP
that
啊！今
audio?
年 OMG 可以说是焕然一新了。那我们邀请到的就是打野选手 Real。
Okay, I'm gonna leave with this, and I'll let you
大
listen.
家好，我是 OMG 的210。
欢迎210选手啊！那首先非常恭喜你们在第2轮对于 UP 战队完成了一个复仇，并且是还给了他们一个2-0。那你也是第一次登上 LPL 的赛场嘛？怎么评价自己初登 LPL 赛场的一个发挥呢？
我感觉就是前期还可以吧，就是打团的时候自己玩的太急了，然后打团有点做的不太好。
还是比较谦虚的啊。其实我们发现第1局你的赵信就收获了 MVP 嘛，输出拉满了。那能不能分享一下快速适应赛场节奏的一个小秘诀呢？
其实，没开始打的时候很紧张，但是在调试的时候会一直在训练营找手感，然后多玩个5-6分钟就有手感了，就不会紧张了。
还是快速的适应了这个节奏，并且保持了那份手感和火热的一个态势啊。那首先聊聊第1局啊，首局其实你们选出了一个强对抗的阵容，并且前中期呢进攻也是打得很主动，即便是在第4条小龙险些被 UP 找到了一个反扑的机会，但最终你们还是稳稳的收获了龙魂。能不能分享一下第1局你们的一个进攻思路是怎么样的呢？
第1局就想的是刷下来，然后一直速龙嘛。然后想打虫子，但那波不太好打，我们后期就一直围绕下路打。
一直围绕下路打，就逐渐的滚起雪球了，并且拿到优势之后再转为胜势了。第1局非常顺利的拿下，而且第2局啊，其实下路本身都是一个强对线的一个组合嘛，两边都有的打，但是你们还是早早的去建立了一个对线的优势，并且压制住 UP 的一个发育。你的第1波 gank 也是非常的关键，首先是一个梦幻开局，但是关键的胜负手还是在那波龙魂团。当时大家拉扯的真的是太美妙了，是怎么去沟通协同的？你的进场时机是怎么去把控的呢？
当时就是中路选手玩得很好，海超玩得很好，就一直在说等他 TP 出来，然后等纳尔变小。最后那波龙魂团我有点急，但是海超那波打得很好，然后就赢了。
是，我觉得热选手真的非常谦虚啊，在开始的时候就是一直在说今天自己打的有点急，对自己今天的发挥还不是特别的满意。但是我觉得你第1次登上 LPL 赛场，真的已经非常非常出色了。那也希望大家多给他一些信心和鼓励啊，因为今天真的我们全员都发挥的非常亮眼。要不要趁着这个机会来夸一夸自己的4位队友呢？
就玩的都很好，下路压力给的很足，上路也很稳，一直没被抓。我让他玩的很难受，但是他做的很好。
是的，大家的整个的一个压制力都是做的非常不错，而且纪律性、协同性今天都是拉满了。那最后一个问题啊，其实赛前我们在采访海超的时候，已经感受到 OMG 势在必得的一个决心了。那现在呢，组内赛仅剩和 LGD 的一个收官之战了，那你会以怎么样的心态去迎接这场比赛呢？
就放开打吧，下一场必须赢。
下一场必须赢，全力以赴，满载而归，祝福你们。那么也再次感谢瑞欧选手接受我的采访。那本场的赛后采访就到这里了，让我们接下来呢把画面交给解说席吧。
Hello, I'm back. I'll turn the volume off that, my bad. Sorry, I know it's just completely silent then, basically, at that point. Hello. How's it going? Okay, so we're on to our next series, BLG Top Esports, the big one. Woo! And basically, we'll see if I can get this done before 2 o'clock, basically. I'm going to put on another ad break now, just so we don't have any in the next game. Hopefully that should keep us safe. I need to get some drinks in, get a drink in anyway. And yes, by the way, folks, I know I do this this talk all the time. But basically, if you are enjoying what you're watching here, think about dropping a like, a follow, a subscribe. Depends on where you're watching it. It does keep us in business, basically. This is our job, basically. So, if you would like to, these are the links. Obviously, I know a load of people are the regulars in here, but, you know. Who's playing for top? Who's playing top for BLG? It will be Bin today. Bin is playing top today for them. Yeah, Bin is playing. Yep, Bin is playing today. He's starting. Yo, nice stream streak, Katari. Cool. Thanks. By the way, folks, I still think that BLG are heavy favorites coming into this series. They should still be heavy favorites. Oh, wait, what's my watch time? Wait, I wonder what my watch time is. Wait, I've only streamed for 2 months, 2 days? That's low. Oh, God. Yeah, no shit. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Because, like, look, basically I'm making that comment for someone saying no surprise that BLG are favorites and being a bit snarky about it. Like, you'd be surprised how many casual viewers, when they hear drama like that, just assume drama means that the team's gonna fall apart. You'd be surprised, right? At last, thank you so much for the sub. Into BLG Top Esports now. What drama is there now? Well, effectively, Bin... well, we were very close to having Bin, like, just leave the team. So someone else was promoted to the main roster. Wenbo, I believe his name is, from the BLG Junior roster. But yes, now we see whether BLG will have, whether it's rocked them or not. We see whether it's rocked them. Bin was the one that potentially walks out on the team. Obviously, it's okay now, but yeah. Okay, let me go get my drink and I'll be back to sit down. Okay, now we get into our rosters. Let's change the music over. Why not? they're choosing bot lane as their key player. I suppose Jachi has been very good and Viper's been quite poor. Especially compared to expectations, so I can understand why that is their chosen role. It would have also been just really funny for them to choose the top laners just because of the drama, though. Okay, hang on, I can actually turn camera on now. Why not? It's working. Hello, how's it going? Okay, Viper and Jachi. I've just done that just as the player cameras are up. That's great. Good job, me. Turn it off for now. Don't want to obscure his face. Oh, and this is the promo for the Viego skin. Half beard stream? Yeah, I really hate having facial hair. I try not to stream when I've got it because it makes me feel bleh. I don't know, I just don't care about it. Okay, so this series, why is this important? So we currently have a bunch of teams at 4 wins in Group Ascend, so every win really counts now. Top Esports and IG are very much looking like they will be the 2 teams finishing on bottom 2 in Group Ascend. Yeah. And BLG did beat them out the first time as well. I'm trying to remember if they dropped a game to them. Can't remember, honestly. No, they 2-0'd them. Oh, it was really confident as well. Knight just butchered Cream. It wasn't close, actually. Why am I pink? Because there's no lights on in the room and I just have an LED in the front. Because, basically, why have I got this lighting? I wanted to set it up for a thing I'm recording later, and I can't be able to change it back because I'm going to have to very quickly switch over from stream to that. This is just the lighting in my room right now. Okay, got an interview with these guys.
欢迎来到前采环节，我是主持人小优。我们邀请到的是 BLG 的中单选手 Night， 先和大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 BLG 的中单 Night。
欢迎欢迎。那首先第一个问题啊，前2天刚从北京返回上海，在短暂休整后，大家状态回满了吗？现在针对调整了哪些问题呢？
我觉得回到上海打比赛，大家状态肯定会更好吧。调整问题就失误尽量减少一点。
是的，尽量减少失误。那上一场面对到滔博的时候，是一个比较干脆利落的2-0嘛。今天想要在哪些细节上做得更加极致呢？
上次赢他们比较轻松吧，希望这次保持吧。
好的，希望你们保持火热的手感，加油！同样的，我们也邀请到了滔博战队的中单选手 Cream， 先和大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是滔博中单 Cream。
欢迎你啊。那首先第一个问题，最近大家是不断磨合积累的过程嘛？回顾上一次和BLG的交手是比较遗憾没能拿下分数的，赛后大家都复盘了哪些问题呢？
我觉得相较于上一次，我们这次就是对线方面要做得更好。
那说到对线，即将再度与奈的选手正面交锋了，想要牢牢掌握前期线权，需要重点把控哪些细节呢？
我觉得比较关键的就是我们英雄的选择方面吧。
那 BP 一定要做好，期待你们赛场的表现了，加油！
I hadn't turned my mic on. My bad. Anyway, BLG Top Esports Bin is playing. You can hear me now. I know. Look, I know I was muted for a second. Yes, Bin is playing. Yep. Bin is playing, folks. That's really loud.
让我们有请 BLG Gaming Top Esports.
So the teams come out onto the stage. Knight's there, 369. Where is Bin? No! No! It's a hand stiff already. It's a hand stiff already. No! Oh god, it's really poor.
LPL 第一赛段组
Oh my god.
周第5日的比赛，BLG对阵
Why did he try to high five him? I don't know. I'm not sure. So Bin is there. Bin's on stage. Bin will be playing the first game at least. The rocket takes off. Yes, for those of you who are tuning in right now, yeah, there was a bunch of controversy about Bin potentially getting into a very heated exchange with a manager at BLG and potentially walking out. That was what was being reported yesterday. Since then, it seems like he has, well, and then in response to that, BLG then promoted their BLG junior top lane to the main squad in case they needed to emergency replace Bin. Since then, it has been reported that Bin apologized to the organization and is now playing again. So that's the extent of what we know. That's the extent of what we know. Memories of the Golden Road? Yes, because obviously Knight and 369 were teammates for a long time. Have I been solo casting this morning? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And by the way, folks, if this does go late, as in it goes to like 3 games, I'm gonna have to cut the stream off early, sadly, for that, because I have a thing I've been delaying for forever. I need to record that. So so I've got 2 hours basically. So if this goes to a 3-game series, I'll radio over to LPL English or to another co-streamer, and I'll let you finish the series there. But yeah. Okay, so in terms of what we're expecting for this matchup, thank you, Poz. I appreciate you. Yeah, I miss me on LEC Toad too, don't worry. I miss me on that too. All good. Raid to Jamada? Yeah, I'll see who's online, Zaref. I'll see who's online. Yeah, but the thing is, Jamada never raids back. What am I meant to do about that? He never raids back. Like, I tend to raid Kitty, because Kitty and I like raid each other, you know. It's just nice to like reciprocate if you can. Although, to be honest, I do spread the love around on the whole. We're into our first draft, though. And we shall see what this draft has in store for us. So, who is on blue side? Who's getting first pick? First pick going to BLG. Malphite ban, Jace ban, pretty classic. So we're going to get one of Jace, Orianna, Rumble available, who are the 3 most powerful, I think, carry/laners in the league. Varus is gone. Orianna first pick. Destroyed Cream the last time with it. Cream did have a good Syndra game the other day. There's a chance of him locking that out. Cream was destroyed by Knight in the first matchup. Does he pick towards the Azir? Does he pick towards the Syndra? The Orianna being taken away from... So the Jarvan being taken away from the Orianna should be pretty fine. And now that mid lane matchup. Azir or Syndra tend to be the matchups into it in a mage matchup. Go, be gone, advert, be gone. And it will be that Jarvan as well. So Jarvan Azir, pretty good combo, because you can just give the attack speed to the Azir. It gives you 30% attack speed at max rank, which is very potent. Bin is playing. Yes, go folks. Bin is playing. Yes, we'll keep repeating that through the day. But yes, there was a lot of drama about Bin yesterday. But he is playing today. Whatever happened has been resolved to some extent, obviously. Hovering the Kayn. Not sure about that one. The Rumble's the easy one. Yeah, so Rumble Orianna, very, very strong duo. That you do need some CC, though. So you're looking at Wukong, Pantheon, Vi. I don't like this Trundle. Not at this point in the draft. Trundle's okay versus Jarvan. I don't love it, though. Shin is an Italy player, but you don't want triple AP topside. Xin Zhao's fine too. Xin Zhao's actually also fine here. It's a very aggressive topside then at that point. You have double very strong fighting lanes. On the other side for top esports, you're either looking at Cassante or Embessa, depending on how aggressive or defensive you want to be. 369, I think I want to see him on the Embessa. He has been very good on the Embessa recently, and I think that when he's been on carries, top esports perform better. They do lock the Scion, and it is Scion Azir. You got that Jarvan buffing him up as well. So this is a very good front to back. My worry is it's a front to back against a team which already has backline access in the Equalizer. If you have one more bit of backline CC like on Rakan, which carries the ball in, I think top esports could be in big trouble. Like big trouble. So going to a second round of bans, I think top esports needs to ban away backline access. You're either banning away CC80 carries like the Jhin, or they're banning the Corki? I think you need to ban away Engage and pick CC, don't you? On this other side for BLG, I suppose they want to be banning... They want to be banning defensive bot lanes, which can hold the line in the 5v5. Maybe ban Alistar, unless you're looking for it yourselves. I don't think you want Alistar. It's too hard for that to actually get onto the backline, I think. Unless you just want to counter the Alistar in lane. Misfortune ban. Okay, very good with the Jarvan in fairness. This draft's very much in the balance right now. If BLG managed to get some backline access, it's huge for them. If top Esports managed to get a safe 5v5 that can survive through a lane, I think they're favored then at that point. Last ban for top Esports, the Ezreal, so that the mobile AD carries, the one that can get out of the Cataclysm that they're more worried about. Thing is that you already have two solo laners that the Jarvan's actually pretty good. Look, Jarvan's in this weird spot where he's actually very good with and against most of his combos. Like, he's very good with Orianna, Rumble, Misfortune. And he's also very good against them because they all can't escape the Cataclysm and they're all pretty good. All pretty good dunk targets, really. Alistar is banned out, so we were afraid of that front line a little bit. Now into the bot lane picks. We had any Jaces make it through in the LPL yet? Yeah, one or two, and it's looked very powerful, often to yeah, great success. Although, funnily enough, JDG got a game of Jace yesterday. He didn't build Edge of Night and got caught out by Leona and lost the game. Junja really should have gone for the Edge of Night in that game. Ooh, Lucian. Okay, that's another pick that could have gotten outside of the Cataclysm. I do like the Ashe here, despite it being into the Jarvan. I mean, I like an Ashe Seraphine here, I think. Kalista's more mobile. We could get the Kalista Renata versus the Lucian Nami. That'll be a 2022 matchup if I ever saw one, 21-22. Dany often drafts too much comfort for players. Funnily enough, that was a Hom thing too. Here's the Kalista Renata, presumably the Nami in now, so this is going to be very based on bot lane laning phase. This is probably going to be shades of 2023 BLG, 24 BLG as well, where you try and fight for the bounce back, and then you get the Shins out to dive at level 3. I think BLG have a much harder to play composition, folks. Top Esports have like the classic front to back. You have frontline peeling support, have a bit of engage, you have two long range carries. BLG on the other side of things are going to have to perform well in lane, and they're going to have to engage very well. I think that BLG have a harder to play draft. I think that if this game goes late game, trying to play through the Scion is going to be quite difficult. Now, the Na'Vi and the Renata somewhat answer each other. It's not going to be, you know, completely one way or the other. I'm going to put on a quick break, folks, just so we don't get adverts in-game. Let's get right into the thick of this. Yeah, Bin is playing. As you can see, Bin is playing. No, Sam's not here today. Sam's traveling today. He'll be free for the other ones, but other days, but not for today. Got a guest coming in on Sunday though. Should be fun. Let's hear those gyos. Let's get on to the Rift. I heard a jing dong in there. Yeah, Greyheart, an old casting buddy of mine, is going to come cast on Sunday. He used to cast for the UEB broadcast, like one of the very first, one of the LPL kind of unofficial broadcasts from the past. He was very cool. Played a lot. He's done a lot of casting in the UK scene. And at some point, I want to see if I can get quick shot on, folks. I want to see if I can get quick shot on, and I think that'd be very, very cool. Okay, W start from the Lucians. A little bit scary. We're slowed down a little bit there. There's a Rend threat, which is a bit scary. It's a bit of trade onto both of them. No Rend reset. Bot lane prio is so important in this duo. The fighting over the early levels is so important. You see right there, On and Viper. getting good damage from their first level of skills. People really underestimate the early damage that a Renata can bring at hand. Level 2 brings in something like the handshake or the bailout. We'll see what On goes for first. Don't see his skills locked up right now. Loyalty program puts in. Level 2 for... is the handshake. Dashes away from it. Good play by Jackie there. What's the top esports? Jackie Love taking a break. There were many questions about Jackie. I think a lot of those questions have been answered. This guy is fucking good. Jackie is very good, folks. And in fact, when Jackie Love comes back to top esports, whenever that may be, the rumor is next splits, I think Jackie needs a starting spot somewhere. Whether that's on Invictus Gaming, maybe even JDG, actually. Cream sliding in tonight. Not bad there, actually. You use the shield, try to get in position outside of that ball range. Barrier used, not bad damage onto On. This is actually getting into kill threat range now. Oh, that's going to be pretty scary. The auto attacks went to Fengyue instead. Viper, good extended trade down. Yeah, Jackie and Fengyue, you know, new players to top esports. Fengyue's had a couple of really good games, but I think on the whole has been quite poor. Level 3 hits. Ignite was put down onto him. The Ignite was there from Jackie. Did have that Guardian. Doesn't have the spell, but using guard, this is just instant kill, no? Nayo's coming down, it's a flash in, and I don't think it'll matter! Another kill, double to Shun! Flash over, didn't quite get the knock up in time. Viper a late flash, does it matter? Oh, that handshake, that could be really, really dangerous! Do they have enough damage to tower shots? Nayo's smiting minions, I don't think it'll matter. Execute, Nayo? Oh my god, he outplays! An executor kill under turret. BLG botched the second part of the dive. However, they did still get 2 kills in it, so it's still technically a 2-for-1 because of the execute. Nayo puts the flag down. Does technically have a flash. Would be able to kill with a Q auto. Oh, Nayo, how did he get away with that? Okay, so we're going to watch this again. So the Ignite was put down to On. It's not bad from Jackie to do that. Just get the damage in before the dive comes through, I suppose. But it would have been nice to have it there. The double flash. If that W hits both, you're just out. The Q as well. Jackie just stands still menacingly. Not bad skill shot from Viper. Bad flash away from Nayo too. He was on vision. The Rend didn't quite kill. And then what happens here? He takes aggro again because he walks in too early. And then he can't walk up for the second part of the dive. On dies, then Shun takes aggro, doesn't have enough damage afterwards, and now gets the kill. That is a mess. That is a mess, folks. Mid lane going a lot better for Cream this time in a matchup which he's fairly comfortable in. Now, his Aziz had a patchy history, as we've talked about on stream before. $10 CS lead for Viper. Not a huge gold lead, because a lot of the... Well, not that Jackie... Well, neither of them got kills, either him or Jackie. On got 2 assists. Shun got 2 kills. No, 1 assist. Oh, did he blew the flash in mid lane. That's what happened there. Yep, because we came back to live, and I was wondering if there was a flash blown by Knight. It was from Cream. I should have looked at this, but it's from... Yeah, no, Viper didn't get any assists, folks. That's kind of insane, actually. No assists for that dive. That is insane. Ooh, misses another Q and a minion there at the same time. The timing of their trades is fine, and they're still winning out the lane. It just should be kills, rather than just chunks, really. You know, when you compare this to BLG 2023, which I think were at, or 24 even, early 2024, which I think that BLG were actually the best bot lane 3v3 diving team in the world, caught by the prison. Bit scary there. Stopped himself moving to auto attack. Good bubble by Fengyue. I'm just happy we didn't get Knight Azir. Well, if you look at the last game versus JDG, he was actually pretty good in that game. You know, he outplayed Honkyu in the side lanes. I know that, look, things, you have to view this stuff with nuance, right? Is it his best champion? No, it does actually have some value. Naya spotted. Has level 6 before Shun. He was down like half a level. Oh, God, wow, that's really not good from Shun, actually. Really needs to keep up in that XP. Naya spent more time farming than Shun did. I suppose Shun must have skipped a camp. Maybe Naya took a camp on the next spawns coming through because Shun died. Knight Orianna, of course, actually has a pretty good history. It's been fairly powerful on that before. Jumping in there. Going to walk out of the soldier range. There was a point when Knight Orianna was like, look, someone else has to press the go button, so it's kind of less good for me. But he was still very good on it individually. We've been going up with the triple tonic. Good damage there. Owie. Overhit's nasty. Yeah, if you look at Knight's Orianna, he's played 62 games of it overall time, almost a 60% win rate on it. A little lower than his average, actually, so You know, ult towards that top side. The equalizer we used from Bin before. 369, great trade going into the overheat though. Is Bin. Good trade back though. That means that Bin will have to recall. Yeah, Knight's Orianna, a little less average win rate than his average win rate, right? So it's definitely not one of his better performing champions statistically in terms of wins. But definitely one which I think on the eye test does quite well. 369. Oh, he lets the cannon go to make sure that 369 is baited into attacking the wave. He has flash. I think he just dies here, though, honestly, folks. Another slow lands. That's a dead 369. He doesn't want to walk into a Q. That's going to be the charge over the wall. Nio is coming up and has the dunk. He might be able to kill Bin here, and he is coming through. That's a really good ult from Shun. Does he have enough damage afterwards, though? We'll see. Dunk coming in. Flash away from Bin. Nio, he has a little bit of extra damage to throw onto the Rumble. It will be a 1-for-1 in the top side. It's a little scary, actually, because the passive of the zombies doing damage to the Shin Cell. W lands, E lands onto Shun there too. Q. I think that's just a dead gun. He smites him down. Nio, that's got to be third kill of the game for him. 3-0. Nio, a player who's also new into top esports this year, replacing the outgoing Kanavi, the one-man army of the LPL. He's had a bit of a patchy run in the first split of things too, but occasionally, again, showcasing why top esports thought they wanted to pick this guy up after his year on NIP, was on Rare Atom before that. Yeah, Sam, Bin is playing. He is. Just got involved in that topside fracas. Nio outplaying like crazy. I think the first bot dive was BLG outplaying like crazy in the negative direction. That one in topside, that was definitely him. They're at the right timing, played well. BLG have always been known, well, they used to be known as a very aggressive bot side 3v3 diving team. Perhaps the best in the world to do it at points in like spring 24 with very aggressive bot lanes. However, they've kind of lost that identity. They stopped playing towards that. In fairness, most of the world stopped playing towards that too. It became a lot harder to dive. There were lane swaps as well, which made it a lot difficult to guarantee that. Still slight lead to BLG in the early game, but Nio's plays means that it's not just a blowout early game as it could have been. Now the problem is, BLG, your early game has not been explosive. You're probably not going to love the even 5v5s. Probably, with this comp. Against the Scion Azir. You know, and Nami peeling for them as well. Jump out of the queue there from Viper. Barrier used as well. That's really good damage from the culling. Viper walking away from On, taking a few extra bullets there because of it. Trying to dodge the culling himself. Dragon taken by BLG. That's important. You know, with a Callista, you really need to start taking that. Potential ult towards topside. Indeed it is. No knock-up, though. The Q will come through. Now is in range. He just dunks immediately. Dunks immediately. The equalizer is coming down. They do tank the turret. It's not enough damage. Great play by Nio. It's into range. No funny business. Slams the ult. Bin dies. Now, Bin is behind. Nio is ridiculously far ahead against a comp where a Jarvan can do significant work. You know, you look at this entire enemy team. If any of them get hit by an EQ, it is significant damage being put onto them. Viper, not a laning focused player. He absolutely was. I think that's not something I would agree with. I think, yeah, I think that Viper and Mako were very, very laning dominants. Of course, two grubs over towards top esports though, so we're talking about that. Should be 2-1. Shin will take this one. It's down to 1 HP though. Don't mind that pop-up. It just happens when the majority of the grubs are killed by one team. Oof. Damage there. Owie. Building up towards that blade. The Rune King is Viper. 20 CS lead. Yeah, the dive didn't work out fantastically. But they do get plates. They do get themselves extra CS that will help them build up towards that bot lane roll quest, which is, of course, very important to get early. How should Scion build in this matchup? Well, you're 100% going for the AP wave clear item, the Hollow Radiance, right? You're against double AP solo laners. You don't need Merc Treads, though. That which leaves an interesting question about boots. Like, maybe you go for it anyway. Teleport behind them from the Orianna. Knight wants to join the party. They do have summoners. Oh, the shockwave flashed on top of them. The sombrero works very well for Knight there. Takes down the Nami. Lucian away from the lane. Nice roam from Knight using that teleport. Gets value, and he doesn't lose any HP, so he can just wander back mid. Doesn't have to recall. EQ forwards. Handshake lands, won't lead to anything. Good play from Knight. Knight, when he's been getting out of lane, has been very, very good. His first week in LPL was insane at getting out of lane and getting value across the map. Now, he does lose plates for this. That is important, but getting that bot lane dove, I think, was more so. Great Q damage there. Oh my god, he could actually just die here, and the ult's coming up. I think the 3-9 could just kill here, no? Next time a cooldown comes through. Okay, no, chooses not to go for it. Okay, so that's the Blade of the Ruin King for Viper now. He is very, very strong. Now the question... Hang on, that's an ult towards topside. The slow lands in the Armor Shred as well. Flash away from the Rumble now. Is anyone coming up to impact the plate? No. 2-level advantage, by the way, in top lane. The role question bin is not completed still. That is huge. Bin is just going to be out of this game, folks. Like, you can't have the bot lane, the bot lane or the top lane quest delayed for that long. You know, everyone on BLG but top lane has that quest. Our top lane place is not working out for Bin very well. I'm going to catch out Cream. Ult used. He'll slide away. Knight has the shockwave now. This is probably going to be a flash blown. Indeed it is. The shockwave not even pulled there, actually. Bot lane quest completed for Jachi, but that's about... God, how much later? Minute and a half later. Bin completes his now. It's only actually jungle quest for Nio that's not been completed. Shun gets a little bit further ahead on that, interestingly. Nio's been very active, of course. So it won't matter as much for him. Plates in mid lane. Upgraded boots for both of our mid laners. Cream going for the defensive ones. Knight's going for the other one. There was a question about Scion itemization early, really. Honestly, as long as you get like, as long as you get Hollow Radiance and like some HP stacking, you're fine this game. I actually think the specifics of the Scion itemization don't matter a crazy amounts. You might want Merctrez to stop this Renata ult being as annoying, I suppose. Doesn't change that much though, I don't think. Ooh, jumping towards the Jachi. Viper tried to jump out of the Lucian Q. Yeah, but I actually... Oh, there's no flash on the... Yeah, there's no flash. Doesn't have his ult up either. Tanked up quite a lot, though, by those defensive boots. Shun not quite in range to get that W on target. Did OMG win? Yeah, they did 2-0. It's quite confident, too, actually. Ultra Prime did not look great. Viper trying to jump out of those Qs again, failing. Ooh, bloody hell, drops the Ignite. Still takes the back end of that trade poorly. Shun gets the W onto Cream. So recall stop. That means that Knight with one Grobe can start hitting this top turret. BLG have been pretty good at playing around side lanes. Scion ult going on towards On. If he tanks it, he just pinged off the wall. Yep, that's a Scion thing. Shun going forwards. Nami ult coming through. The Renata ult separates Nio from the rest of the team. Nio, yeah, I don't think he's going to get away from this one now. That's the jungler dead. Fed jungler down. Not a good engage from top Esports. The Scion pinged off the wall. Couldn't find his target, and Nio was left stranded in the backline. What does that mean now? Does that mean free Herald for BLG? Probably. Who got those kills? Well, Shun has 3 kills now. Viper gets some kills there too. 2-0 on the Callista. That's getting out of hand. That might be the play, folks, which sets BLG up for success. We thought that top Esports and even 5v5s later would be favored. So they needed an early advantage. So let's look at this again. 369 was trying to ping them off in River here, but he's seen on vision. They get over the wall, and if you ping certain bits of geometry, you go like that. At the end of the day, he still wouldn't hit the Renata. And he still has a Callista ult. You know, the Nami ult doesn't hit through. Nio gets completely separated away from the team. Bin was teleporting in at the same time. Nio left out to dry. So Viper gets the kill there. Easy one for him. Cream, remember, he still has no flash. Does have his ult. He's probably going to have to use that. Okay, no, just walks out. There's a 4-man roam up towards him. Cream playing fairly safely in the sideline. This game's not really involved Cream that much. Nio missed EQ. I think he was CC'd before the... I think his E came up off cooldown and he put it down first and wanted to get the Q later. I actually don't think it matters if he hits it or not, by the way. I think he might have had it cancelled. I didn't actually check the replay closely enough, so that's on me. Cream tanky as hell. Well, yeah, that's the bonus of these tier 3 defensive boots. They're getting nerfed a little bit next patch, actually. The tier 3 boots deemed too strong, which is crazy to me, by the way, because I think that... oh, God, yeah, that's Q-Max Callista poke for you. Held into mid lane. Does it full kill? Not quite. The auto attacks after will finish up the rest of the HP. First turret of the game to BLG, shared between bot lane and jungle. Potential big fight in the mid lane brewing here, actually. They do have the bailout, which really helps in these kind of situations. Now I might look for a big engage. Handshake misses. Yeah, I think Naya feels like he can go for something here. Culling's pretty good. Glycerol use. Bit miscommunicated there. The locket was used at the same time, and I think On was actually safe. Teleport coming down towards Cream. Still no flash. I think he's out safe, honestly. Maybe not. Well, yeah, definitely not now, actually. Oh, flash is over. Nio is interrupted too by Shun, who manages to intercept him. So Cream goes down. Well played again by Knight to turn up to the side lane. He's been doing that well so far in this split. I think Knight's side lane play has been possibly the highlight of his play, actually. Viper looking maybe for an all-in onto Jachi, who doesn't have any supporting members around him.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I got confused because 369 had 693 stacks. I gotta keep you on your toes, you know? Let's wait until he has like 963, just to be really confusing, you know?
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Knight's laning slightly weaker, teamfight's still high level. I think the thing about Knight's laning is that the matchups are just playing out how they should be before. Whereas in the past, he would just win matchups which weren't good for him before. Now, like, when he's against Honkyu plays out the laning matchups how they should be played to a much higher level. It means that Knight looks a lot more human in laning phase. But yeah, his impact outside of lane has still been very, very high. His teamfights have been a bit skew-if, but I think just BLG have not been good at teamfighting in general, really. Yeah, I think that Knight's probably been the best side laning, mid lane, and definitely in the LPL. Definitely in the LPL. He's been very good at turning up, flipping the map in his favor. He's been very good. You know, I think in the first week he was, you know, definitely one of the best mids in the world. Definitely the best one in the LPL as a whole cohesive player, really. You know, he was very good against Honkyu in those side lanes specifically. Right here again, you can see that Cream's really been struggling to deal with Knight just roaming to him. And typically Orianna's not a side lane champion. You know, that's Knight's doing. He's doing well with that. He's actually trying to get some good damage down here. Callista Renata has been a problem for the Lucian army. Maybe we just have Honkyu's solo kill recency bias. I mean, Honkyu's laning phase has just been very good versus Knight. I think Honkyu's been good in general. He's a good player. Dragon not up for a while. BLG with 2 dragons, of course, with the Callista, you really want to be scaling off of them. It is an Infernal Dragon, so if W not going to hit there. Quite way off, actually. Might be able to force his flash. No, not forcing it. This is all hang on, this is all 5 members of TOS Esports here. That's wow, okay, in the 2v5, Shin Knight go man mode, take down the enemy jungler. Gonna spot out the Scion there. On's walking forwards as well. Bin's coming through, and it's pretty good from Top Esports to survive the initial play, but Cream's left out to dry. 2 dead on the side lane because Knight and Shun outplaying what was initially a 2v5. Shun jumping in, but Shun, my dude, come on. Didn't have the bailout on him. Goes down, 369 going forwards again. Now this might be the overplay. On has himself the bailout though, and he'll survive. 3 for 1 in the bot side. BLG make it work on the side lanes. Their strongest part of the game. But BLG have been a very good side laning team. You know, whenever these fights happen across the map, it feels like if it happens in the side lane, they're more likely to win. Fits around the objectives, more likely to lose. Going back out onto that Knight with a 1.4k gold advantage now. He's good. This is initially a 2v5. A great play from Shun to know he was tanky enough to make this happen and had the damage of Knight backing him up. On gets the flash handshake, does get hit by the knockup, but it does manage to lock Jatchi into position. Cream gets separated out because of this, and he dies. A lot of the damage goes with it. But yeah, really, Knight and Shun starting this off to great success. Shun, of course, goes 2v to that point. Don't think we quite realized how much damage 369 would have back against them. It's been a good game from Knight. Really has been. Always on the map, always at the scene of the crime. Has a lot of gold to his name now. And if he can get the shockwave onto a carry, the teamfight looks very, very good for BLG after that. And now, of course, there are a ton of questions about BLG flashing away from the culling there. Jatchi is trying his best to deal with the Callista. I don't even think Jatchi's had a bad game. I think that the 2v2 didn't go their way. I think clearly Viper and On were better in the 2v2. But I think when it's come to using the cullings, been fairly effective with them. Most of them have been fairly useful. Push in from top Esports. Of course, they're down the mid lane turret of BLG. Under a minute till the next dragon. BLG trying to push up and get some vision to contest this now. No culling for Jatchi. Good damage though. Of course, the Imperial Mandate. Yeah, nice. Good damage there. Just use that dash forwards. Shun hanging around the mid lane on quite low HP. Needs to be quite careful of that. Of course, no spellbook to teleport back in. 369 now here to hold up the front line. Every ultimate available. A lot of summoners down from that last fight. The Tidal Wave comes in, hits both solo laners, but that's kind of it. They're trying to separate the team. Viper has the bailout, and he might have to use it. Oh my god! He just picks up a pincushion. Jatchi dies. Shockwave to peel the back line. Awesome play from Viper in the front line. Jumps right into the team, and it is a classic Callista team fight. Triple kill to Viper, who we'd been calling a passenger. Someone who'd been invisible. Well, he shows up in bright colored explosions there. Makes a pincushion of the enemy team. Knight stays in mid lane. We'll clear up that way if BLG explode through the mid lane. And top Esports, this is where the game is well and truly lost. You're meant to have a solid 5v5 comp, so what happens here? It's not a good Narmiel, for one. They try and split the team with it. Jatchi goes too far forwards. And you would have thought, well, you know, maybe the Lucian could turn it around. No. No, Viper destroys him. Great shockwave on the backline from Knight to pin up the front line too. No threat on the backline there at that point. Viper, excellent team fight from the AD carry.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Great fight from On. Great fight from On again. He's had a good game on the Renata. On the whole. Wasn't that impressed by the cleanliness of this bot lane early on into the game. But into the team fights and the skirmishes. Oh, he hits another one there. Okay, that could be a problem. Jatchi, buddy, you know, he puts down that equal. Puts down. Oh my god, close to the shockwave. Try to say, puts down the ignite. Knight walking forwards with the wrecking ball now. Feel like Renata's been one of On's best champions. Yeah, absolutely. Over history, over the last few years, been very good at it since release. How good has Knight been this game, though? Consistently getting great shockwaves down. The main point of pressure for BLG across the map. And spreading it across it. Okay, no, bot lane was the main point of pressure, but Knight was the one that actually used his pressure to expand it to roll across the map, though, however. Different wording. Glad to see Viper and On having a much more consistent mid-game. Now, BLG, they have the Baron, they have the Dragon. This is not an easy situation for them to throw. We'll put it like that. Not an easy situation for them to throw. But you have to say this. Look, 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 folks. Look, BLG are a team that are known for throwing late game. So you have to state when it is not an easy game for them to throw. You might hate it. You might think it's a curse. But BLG, it only matters when they throw if it's a hard game that is hard to throw, you know? If it's one that's easy to throw, I'd be like, okay, well, whatever. Hard to play comp, blah, blah, blah. There are no excuses, though, if they throw from this position. They have obscenely fed carries. They have a Soul Point. They have Baron for another 30 seconds as well. If they throw this game, it will be very, very notable to the negative direction. You have to put down that groundwork. Grouping up here for the siege. Bin not here at the play just yet. 369 very far up's not bad there, actually. Shun pushes forwards, and that's a really, really good Renata. Oh my god, the hostile takeover has taken 100% of the shares of top esports. Glory to CEO On. That was disgusting. Ridiculous Renata. On gets himself a 2,000 gold lead himself. Just give him player of the game. Ridiculous Renata. Excellent team fighting from On this game. 369, the pin cushion goes again. He's going to kill him. He's just going to straight up kill him. Bloody hell, nearly one-shots him. This is going to be a very quick game. BLG, we were asking questions about them and their mid and late game. How do they close games? They smash through 2 inhibitors. On's Renata comes back. I can't remember the last time he played it, you know. It's been a while. When was the last time that On played this? But, well, it's been very successful for him this game. Last time he played it was the LPL Grand Finals in 25, so he played it in the finals. Played it how many times throughout 25? He did play it a fair bit, actually. Not played it this year, though. Ooh, flash away from the shockwave. Knight, good damage. Has that Magi's, of course, he loves to have On. Getting cold, scary. Has the redemption been on the flank? Okay, folks, BLG, you need to be a little bit scared now. You've actually got very low HP on the Renata. Well, that definitely helps, doesn't it? Fungo is getting exploded. Seared tuna in the pan. Jatchi is getting burned up quite alongside him there, actually. Shun potentially could jump forwards if he hits the W. Jump forwards again onto Nio. Gets that, trying to hunt for that Lucian. Has the move speed from the distance. At his beck and call. Nio will get himself away. I'm not sure the rest of the team will, though. Nio will not get himself away. Knight has found himself a quest. Fighting for his liege. And taking down the enemy king. 369 tries to ult away. Won't be able to do so. Viper will hop, skip. Not quite jump into back of that 80 carry to kill them, though. BLG think they'll just... Can they finish the game from here with both carries alive? I don't think they can. They'll take down, though, a second inhibitor. Shockwave very nearly catches Jatchi. Knight was hiding the ball within the inhibitor. Good dash away from Jatchi. It's a low cooldown, level 17. It's okay to have a swing and a miss there. He's likely going to reset anyway. BLG, 40 seconds till Dragon. The cleanest game we've seen from BLG in a while, folks. $20 seconds till Dragon now. Knight doesn't have the shockwave, has 18 ducks. He has 18 Metro stacks though. Knight, ever the librarian with this item. Oh, he's found out Nio as well. Most of the HP is gone. Doesn't have a shockwave. He just dies, no? I think he just dies to an SQW. Dodges out on it. Gets the hang on. That's not bad, actually. Although he does have a potential for bailout. No, he's out of range. Just 1 for 1. But then again, jungler being down is more important. No smite for the Dragon. You'll actually take that as BLG. It feels good to get rid of the Magi stacks. In any other situation, you'd call that worth, but it gives over the Infernal Soul. Knight doesn't care, I don't think, because of that. Infernal Soul to BLG. Objective dominance from BLG. Got everything but the first 2 grubs. By the way, the assist came through after, I believe, the death of Knight, so it did mean that he got the 2 stacks. You know, he did manage to... Actually, it doesn't particularly matter in that case, but we got the extra 2 stacks back, basically. Baron now started up. Jarvan's still dead. But again, that 1 for 1 onto Knight felt good, but then you look at the objectives which happened afterwards. It's not going to be here in time to steal it. So Infernal Soul, Baron goes over. So BLG very confidently walking through the objective game now. Knight dying. Not really going to end up being that much of a positive for top esports, sadly for them. Do have decent items on Jatchi because of that kill. I believe he was the one that got that shut down on Knight. But he's still 1.4k behind this 7-0 Callista from Viper. He's at 4 items going on 5. Looks like he's building towards... let me think. I guess he'll go towards the Bloodthirster. There's not that much CC he needs to cleanse through with a Mercurial Scimitar. Guess you could do that for the bubble. That's it. As the barrier is once, it's so hard to shut down this Callista. 369, fairly tanky, but no, I don't think it's tanky enough, actually. That's actually quite a scary amount of damage to take when the Orianna and the Callista aren't really hitting you. So, BLG, you got the Baron, you got the Infernal Soul, you got 2 inhibitors down. The Culling's not bad onto Shun. Flash away from the Shockwave there, I believe. No, did I miss here? I actually don't see any flash on cooldown, so call me a liar on that one. Shockwave just misses. BLG, 2 minutes left of the Baron. Come on, got to start splitting the lane, start pushing down some of these super minions. Top lane probably could have been pushed in a little bit in advance. Feels like they should have synced up their waves a little better here. Top lane will eventually make its way in, but it's bought a lot of the time with the Baron now. Viper very nearly hitting that Q on Supreme, and it would have hurt an awful lot. Lucian dashed away from it. I thought I heard the sound effect of it, which is why. My eyes were on a different part of the screen when it happened, so I didn't quite catch it. Then the Shock with 2/3 off cooldown now. Can they walk up and get the Crystallize on the turret? Perhaps. Azir clearing the top wave. Mid lane coming in now. Now the waves are somewhat synced, but the top lane inhibitor has respawned. Good damage from Knight onto 369. Crystallize hits. Okay, the turret will fall now. The slow roll works for BLG. Maybe took a wave or 2 more than they probably needed. They'll get themselves all 3 inhibitors down if they so wish. They're walking towards the Nexus. They do have the defender's advantage, though, top Esports. They can go back and heal fairly easily. Bin needs to be afraid of the Azir damage. You know, at the end of the day, we are still 33 minutes in. There is still a Lucian with items. Azir has some items as well. Turret getting hit by the cannons. Corking in for the Q3. Cream does manage to get himself a shuffle. Will it be enough? The Renata is again excellent. Knight goes golden. Might end up dying on the backline. I don't think it'll matter, though. It's just 369 hitting him. The Shockwave. Okay, buddy, that's like 3 you've missed now. Not really working out in his favor, but I don't think it'll matter. BLG, with their cleanest game for quite some time, will end the first game in fairly quick order. Top Esports demolished by that Callista, by the Renata especially. It's funny you mentioned that, actually, about Tabe. Tabe has always said he's wanted to work with Knight, so you're actually incorrect there. Tabe has specifically said on record he'd always like to work with Knight, just hasn't managed to find a roster with him at the same time, so there's actually evidence to the contrary on that, funnily enough. Of course, one of the questions about BLG was about the coaching. They currently have Coach Daney, but there was always that question about, well, where's Tabe going to go? Thought Bin was getting benched? Well, that's what we all thought at first too, but didn't end up being the case there, actually. Nio, very good early game from him. This should have been a way more one-sided game, I think, but Nio managed to stave off a lot of the early pressure with those kills top lane, but also the defense of the dive bot lane. Should have been much cleaner through that. So, BLG walk away with the first game, and it looked pretty one-sided, really. Cream didn't really get to influence the game that much. He was diffed on side lanes. I think, once again, we're starting to figure out that BLG are a very good side laning team. I think that Knight, particularly on the side lanes, has been very, very impactful. Folks, if you have been enjoying what you've been hearing here, think about dropping a like, a subscribe, a follow. It helps me keep what I'm doing here as well. This is my job, effectively, and I hope you're enjoying it at the same time. Why did Tabe leave BLG when Knight joined? Because he's chasing paychecks, which is fair for him. He got paid an awful lot of money by a lot of different teams. You could say the same for anyone's legend, right? You could say that for that, right? Where he obviously built that roster, then moved on. Tabe tends to leave teams after about a year or 2. He does tend to. RNG is the only team which really stayed long term. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Beast, I didn't call that earlier, and Redabest, thank you so much for the follows. I appreciate you all. There's also a Ko-fi link if you do feel like donating as well, and you can follow me on my socials. Okay, I'm gonna go put on an ad break, and then I'll be back to come and chat. Now that's post-game draft. And we'll change over to the other music just so we don't get any copyright strikes or the like. Okay, so if this game doesn't go to 3, I'm completely fine for the, I should be completely fine, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna be right back, folks. Did I put the ad break on already? No, I didn't. I'll do that now. Alright, so be right back just after this. We back, we back, we back. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? I hear it's going to game 5 in LCK. Right, so yeah, I guess that means a lot of people are going to miss this match from LPL because I mean, game 5 is really hype, obviously. Okay, so coming into the second game, what do top Esports need to do differently? Well, I mean, Nymaera had a really good game. It's not on him. Nymaera had a good game. There's not much you can complain about from that, particularly because I thought that, you know, top Esports thought the weak part of this roster would be that jungle support. And actually, they did very well through that. BLG just looked a lot more cohesive this time. It's a lot more cohesive. We'll get ourselves into that second draft. Oh, let's see what Shun's got to say. Oh, this is guessing animations of champions, I think. This is guessing animations of champions. Oh, that's Tristana. It's Tristana. Yeah. Tristana's got that dance. She also has that jump up to, like, look off her cannon. Oh, Poppy. No, sorry, it's Poppy. I'm wrong. It's Yordle, it's Poppy. She does that dance. And it's one of the Yordles with a big weapon. Yordle has, like, the Oompa Loompa dance, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that dance is actually quite... That one's quite easy with the dance, actually. I say that because I got it wrong at first. Oh, wow, really? Wow, I did not get that in one. That's crazy. Yeah, how long did it take? I guess Aatrox is so pro meta for so long. Ah, that's Urgot. There's no other champion with legs like that. Come on. Well, how many 6-legged champions you got? Hey, this is a good game show. I like this. That's a really unique idea. I like that. That's Lucian, easy. It's just like the slight bounce in the walk is very Lucian. And obviously the 2 guns, right? Yep. He's also got like the little like coattails as well, which swing in the back. I like this game. This is a nice one. We should do some more League game show stuff. Who flips like that? You have a tail? Heimerdinger. Who has... Who flips like that? Oh, Ziggs! Huh! Oh, it's not even the tail, it's the bomb! Oh, that's interesting. That looks a bit Volibear-like. That's Volibear. The walk is very bouncy. That's Volibear. It's Volibear, I think. Oh, it could be Rakan. Yeah, you're right. That could be Rakan. Yeah, with the proportion of legs. Yeah, that's Rakan. You're right. I saw all of the back things and I thought, oh, that's Rakan. But actually, it might just be just all the feathers of Rakan. I thought it was Volibear, though. There you go. Yeah, you're right. Well played. Okay, back onto the rift. So, folks, if this goes to 3 games, by the way, I am going to have to go. Sorry about that, but I'm going to imagine off that first game, it's less likely. Yeah, well played, Jonas. Honestly, doing it from the rig like that, I hadn't considered that before. That's really cool, and I think that's very cool. Good idea. Okay, so second draft, what are the big champions left available? Well, there's a lot of bot lane ones still, right? So we had Callista Lucian, which are not that high tier AD carries. Same with the supports, really. Renata and Nami are not that high tier. So we still have Yunara, Varus, Misfortune. In terms of topside champions, Rise, Talia spring to mind. Rumble's already gone. We didn't see Malphite in that. We didn't see Malphite in that last one. Malphite, Jace are still kind of permaban, right? Suppose we could be seeing stuff like the Silas potentially too. Both these players are big Silas players. Yeah, I forgot about this League Mastery thing. Okay, it should be getting onto the stage soon, and then we'll see how this series goes. Will BLG just straight up 2-0? I should probably remove that League Mastery command from chat now. Like, the League Mastery thing, I liked the idea, just no one was interested, basically. Or, like, people said they were interested, and no one actually bought it. So I put a load of content up on it, and just thought, I'm just not going to go to the effort of putting content up onto it if people aren't going to spend the money for it, you know? Because at that point I'm just doing work for free, which is not... It wasn't the idea of it. Which sucks. But whatever, it is what it is. Funny to see that Tabe's last series with BLG was a 5-game loss versus Danny on Weibo. True. Is that true? We'll see. Okay, let's get into that second draft then, shall we? Oh yeah, it was the World's 23 they lost. Yeah, you're right. It was, you're right. Yeah. World's 23 was the 5-game loss in semis, which sent Weibo through to finals. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to remember if he stayed for like Demacia Cup. Obviously, probably didn't. It's just a while ago now. Yes, putting it in perspective. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, correct. Must be true if someone on the internet said it. This one I think is fairly easy to back up, luckily. Okay, so we go into our second draft. What I did with the volume, so that's fine. There we go. Cool. You know the music. Time to dance. Imagine top esports on red side with first pick. Yep, there you go. Okay, so Varus still unbanned. Oh, BLG have first pick. Hang on. Whoa. So top esports would have chosen second pick, I suppose. So they chose top esports want counter pick. They have to ban the Varus now, though, presumably. If the Varus isn't picked up, that'll be an easy lock-in. Maybe Jachi wants to go for the Misfortune instead. Varus is banned, so what do you do in bot lane now? What are the other price, like, crazy picks left up? No Jace, no Malphite. Might be Talia Rise angles now. Pantheon also not bad, actually, as a first pick, because Nio's a big player of it. Shun is too. And now Shun can also go Kiana if he wants. I think this is probably a Pantheon Talia angle from top esports. Unless you want to go for a Nivea Cassiopeia for Cream. Misfortune is pretty high priority now in terms of laning dominance. And then you're probably looking at Corki or Sivir from Viper after that point, I suppose. Misfortune very likely to get locked in, so that's good lane pressure. Do you lock the Pantheon now? Or do you want to... I mean, it's kind of a little bit to... I don't know. It's not something which a lot of teams do, which is drafting 2 blind picks on their first 2 of red side. A lot of people like to counter the first pick in some way. But it's going to be the Vi. So now they can go Vi Talia, Vi Cassiopeia. I think Shun just goes... Well, you could go Wukong, actually. Wukong's better into the Misfortune. Pantheon can sometimes struggle to reach her. Yeah, Wukong's good. Shun's a good player of it. You could also go Kiana as well. Kiana or Wukong. You need something with a little bit more backline, well, a little bit more like explosive backline access than a single target Pantheon W. There you go, cool. Alright, so Rise Kiana is really, really nasty because the Rise just locks people in place with point and click Kiana skill shots. Renekton blind pick, that's pretty powerful. 369, what have you got into that? I guess Cassante, right? Cassante's pretty okay here for 369. Why did Cream not play this last game? Izir didn't look fantastic last game, not going to lie, it was fine. Nara into Renekton's fine too. I think the Cassante is better because if you're ever mini-Nar, don't you just insta-die to Renekton Kiana if you make a mistake? Sorry, your name makes me laugh there, bottom. You keep on doing what you're doing. Hey, I live in Berlin, I don't judge. Okay, second rounds of bans. Ashe banned away from Viper. This Ashe Seraphine lane has really been just destroying the meta in the last week or so. Right, okay, right. Uh-huh. BLG, they can ban out supports, I suppose. Oh, well, I guess you could ban out the mid laners from Cream. The Rise can be countered. I would have thought you'd ban away the Talir, honestly. Against, you know, 2 dash champions in a matchup it's fine into in mid lane. Could ban away the Cassiopeia. Don't really think there's a Yone angle for Cream in this draft. Top East will ban away the Ashe. I think you ban away the Sivir or the Corki. Could be Ezreal as well. Well, that's slightly lower power. They choose the Ezreal anyway, fine, whatever. I think you ban away either Cassiopeia or Talia. Here is BLG. I think you are just kind of banning for matchups. I have to say, drafting as a whole, folks, has definitely gone more towards matchup-centric than draft-centric. We are definitely kind of like, not de-evolving, but we're moving back to a place where you just have to have good winning matchups in a lot of games. If you have too many dicey matchups or losing matchups, things just feel so hard to play in the current meta. So it was the Sylas banned away from Cream. No, he could have stolen the Kiana ult. Renekton ult would have been whatever. But Cream is a big player of it. He had almost a 1v9 game. Maybe that also means they want to go for Sivir Alistar. I think they might want to go for Sivir Alistar with that in mind. Oh, it's the Aurora for Cream. I mean, it's a good matchup with the Vi. Begone, adverts. Begone, advertisement. I think maybe BLG wants an Alistar. You could also go... You could go Braum, but then you're very low engage. You could go Nautilus too. Nautilus isn't bad in this draft. Jin's fine here. You know, there's no heavy armor stacker for top esports. Lots of ability to kind of point and click CC now. Top esports do outrange, and it is the Alistar. That's the reason for the Sylas ban. And the Poppy, the last pick. Okay, so Poppy support. Fungyue had an excellent game on this the other day, by the way. Excellent game. Hey, Time Lord, good to see you. First series, OMG genuinely looked very good, Time Lord. They subbed out Juhan, and now ReZero's playing. I call him Reo, but his name is ReZero, so we're now just going to make anime references to him. And here we go for our second draft. BLG, looking to close that 2-0. Top Esports looking to come into this series again. So in terms of laning matchups, about even in mid lane. Bot lane, I suppose, is fairly flippy as well. Yeah, it's 3 competitive matchups actually across the map. Jungle matchup. Well, I think Kiana has a lot of CC to work with. I think Shun could have a field day here, folks. Like, Kiana has setup in every lane. And if Shun starts going, that's going to make a mess of things. Like, let's get ourselves a quick handbrake on, just so we don't get it in game. And let's get on to the Rift. Poppy Talia might free MF, might free hits in team fights. Maybe.
全军出击。
Okay, level 1 being fought over. Level 1 headbutts. As the gyros happen, he'll use good damage back from Viper. 4th shot on there too. Barrier on both sides blown. On actually getting an auto attack or two down at the first level, which you don't expect as an Alistair, let's be honest. Feng Yue looking for the passive auto. Ooh, gives a dancing grenade over. He's trying to look for that auto. Every auto attack matters in a matchup like this, really. Viper has that 4th shot, gonna get the minion with it. Wave push, of course, matters an awful lot. On using that W like a ranged auto attack, effectively. Not similar to how, of course, the Poppy does it as well. Yeah, what Viper's trying to do is use his 4th shot on the highest possible HP to kill the minion. Because he really wants to get that wave push in as quickly as possible. Don't want to overshove it. You actually want this last minion to stay around because you actually want the wave to be on your half of the lane if you can help it. It's gonna kill this minion now. Very even in terms of the push, but I think Feng Yue and Jiachi will get the level 2 here. Very tightly fought level 2, though. Feng Yue can go for a wallstone right off the level 2. This could be really dangerous. You should have known that, Viper. Good headbutt away, though. Feng Yue doesn't quite have the damage. Flash away from that Q. Viper just about living, but oh my god, that was a little close. That double up hits somehow. Not sure on that one. 4th shot does hit the level 2. Where's the W? Where's the W? That could be so dangerous. Shun coming down. He's got level 3. Feng Yue, do you have the W? You might need it. He doesn't. He's taken to the wallstone instead. Jiachi flashes away. He gets the grass blade, but it doesn't matter. Jiachi lives. Jiachi lives. The W hits. I don't know if it'll be enough. On doesn't have the flash. Jiachi will live through. It'll be a 1-for-1. That was such a tight 1v1. Shun does go down, and now Jiachi, I believe, has red buff from that. Shun goes back, did get an assist. The kill went to On. Jiachi took the other one. Waves into Tao. They don't get the cannon into Tao, so they have to stop their recall as well. Again, slightly imperfect on the early levels is this bot lane right now from BLG. They're not quite there in terms of their full bot laning power. They're a little imperfect. Didn't manage to get that level 2 quite as soon as they would have liked. Viper has the W now, doesn't cast it for a little bit. What happens with the Jhin W? Didn't quite get the grass blade in time either. Viper gets it now. Close. I wonder whether Viper could have immediately Jhin W'd. I wonder. Force the flash early. So that's going to be Shun. Does he lose double scuttle for this? Maybe he does. I think he does, because he died so early. He's going to be down farm on Nio. Nio's going to get double scuttle. Knight, I think actually recalling there to try and bait Nio into fighting for that. He's going to spot a ward down here. Kiana will be coming over. Raptors are respawning. Okay. Bot lane priority has been fought over. Viper and On really wanting to secure this scuttle. If they can get this scuttle for him, it changes everything. On needs to stay away from walls. He's here. He doesn't have a flash. Doesn't get the wall stun. The knockup's not bad. Shun needs to be careful. On's flicked back. Knight's over now. But Shun dying early has thrown their early game for a bit of a loop. Jhin didn't come up to the plate either, which I wonder whether he should have. He was fighting over that bot side plate. They're trying to fight for jungle advantage. Good 4th shot. Viper actually doing well against Jiachi in the individual part of this. Good play from Cream to ghost into the plate. Very good early game from Toppy. Jiachi has 2 kills now. Ahead 500 gold. You can actually kill here sometimes. He's actually threatening a kill. Barrier used onto that auto attack. Barrier used very liberally in the current meta. Viper trying to 1v2 basically through this lane. Of course, On just died. And as suddenly, you know, it shouldn't... Well, he loses the bottom Scuttle Crab. It's not great for him. It's not great. I think Viper, besides that W which we criticized, playing quite well. Then he just used a lot of cooldowns there, and he's just used all his rage. He's actually in trouble here. He could get jumped down if that Q had hit. I think it's actually solo kill angle for 369 because he would have gone into Mega afterwards. Fighting over wards. No AD carries here, so they can just do this forever. Supportal combat. Oh my god. They don't... No one does it like supports, folks. No one does it like supports. Oh god. Feng Yue quite low XP, by the way. Viper trying to threaten the dancing grenade off the minions, though. Thank God there are no mid lane swaps anymore. There is something about, you know, like an honest-to-God 2v2. There's something about it, you know. Hang on, Cream does have flash. There might be... That's an Earthblade coming through. Knight could look for the root. Oh, it's a good flick back. It's going to go into the queue. There's a Realm Warp. It's not going to be enough. Shun didn't come through with the Water Blade. Didn't have flash. Goes down. It has been a poor early game from Shun. Dying in the bot lane. Not getting the scuttles. Dying in mid lane too to an ill-fated gank. Shun has been really exposed here by Top Esports. And once again, Top Esports get a little more out of the early game than probably they should have gotten. 1,000 gold ahead at the 6-minute mark. BLG. You got to sort this out. Shun's Kiana. It's been okay in the past, actually, but this game here is going to be very hard for him to play now. You know, Shun has setup in every lane. That's what they're playing for, but now they're setting up for a champion that's very far behind. Very far behind. Shun hits level 6 now. Half a level down, and Nio does farm very quickly, but he's just died a lot. On's Alistair, now typically very good, but he is into Antilia and then Poppy. Pops the ghost and gets the W. Okay. He's looking for something there if he could. Of course, very close to the level 6, which is what they're trying to fight around. W missing there from Viper. Okay, so what's going to happen with this mid lane matchup? Knight tried to use that Realm Warp to get Shin out to safety. Obviously didn't work. Barrier used from Viper again. Fungyue going to the side of him. There's a level 6 from Viper. That's really good. They do have the bullet time. That could be a problem. And he's just dead. 2v2 straight up in the bot lane. Viper and On. Make it happen. Chachi goes down. A kill back to Viper. Shun coming into mid lane. There's a flash. And Shun, another failed gank. Perhaps should have waited for Knight to get that flash. Rune Prison tried to go... Well, I suppose it would have been an instant CC combo. Flash down into Kiana. I think in this case, the flash down into Kiana is a big deal. Funnily enough, BLG actually had a very good Kiana player last year in Beichuan, because he'd learned from Beifeng, one of the best Kiana players in the world, argued to be the best Kiana player in the world. Vi in topside jungle. Shun, of course, down that flash had showed in mid lane. On does have ult, so they could go for a big play here. Knight's fairly strong at this point. Flick back, though. A lot of HP off of On. Do they know that Vi's behind them? They do now. Can they just collapse onto the Vi? W hit. There's flash on Fungyue. I think that's just a massive mistake. He had flash there. Fungyue, you had to get away from that wall. Nio is not spotted doing this. In fact, he's going to take it away. I mean, this is a really big XP lead in jungle. It is. So while Shun does get himself some kill participation, he's spotted. He dies here, by the way. He actually just dies. Nio won't be able to get it onto him because of the grass blade, but then he goes visible again, and Shun is dead for a third time in this game. Knight not going to get flicked back here. You can see the mission from Top Esports dunk down on this poor jungler. Shun has been eviscerated. 20 CS down in jungle. It's 5 camps, folks. You know, the lanes of Top Esports are struggling. You know, you can see that individually. You know, Viper and On doing a good job here. I think they were predicting a back coming through from him, so they thought they'd go for the 2v2 now. Fungyue using the minion tax to try and get that Q on target. On comes out. Q flash. Dead. W not able to come out in time. Fourth shot comes through. Blap. What did BLG do? 500 gold now, the deficit. Problem is, it's all in this jungle, and the experience difference in this jungle is going to be so problematic. They might go for a dive. Bullet time comes through. Fungyue hits the ult. That's not great from Alistair, who pops the ult in response to the Poppy. It doesn't work like that. Once you're flying, you will stay airborne. Can't cleanse that. Shouldn't. Hang on, Fungyue. My dude, that's just not the play. Flashes. I'm not sure that'll help, though. Fourth shot even hits Jachi. Another death for Fungyue, who I think is starting to have his own bit of a snowball downwards now. 0 and 3, another kill to Viper, and this is a game which a Jhin can carry. This has been, well, as you can finish that last game as well, one of the best series that we've seen from Viper so far. Pops that Dominus. Tier 369 spacing him very well. Looking for that rage again, does have it. What Walking up again. 369 does have the ult to use. He's backwards. Not a great dominance there. It has just the Kaiju fight on top side. There's no ult from 369. Already used it. Probably on the last transformation. .369 chasing down the Hyper Bin. He doesn't have flash. He's trying to tell... He's trying to tell... Okay. Okay. I don't know. Look, mate, the wave is pushing into you. The wave is pushing into you. There is no need for that. We've got a fight on the bot side in the picture-in-picture on. He doesn't have that much HP left. That could be a problem. Dodges the flick back, pops the ultimate now a little bit late, actually. Not a bad ult in the picture. Guys, show us the goddamn fight that's happening in the picture-in-picture. I know it's a funny 1v1, but, like, come on. There's a big fight happening here. W1 the misfortune. I don't know, Bin. It's massively misjudging the trade. Tries to teleport away and just gets gunned down. 369 destroying Bin. We had a fight over the bot side. I don't think anyone died. But it is going to be Top Esports picking up a second dragon of the game. Objectives going their way. What soul do we have? Chemtech. A bit of a low roll there for Top Esports. Sad for them. Hey, Dolmius, by the way. I saw you followed the other day. Welcome to chat. I just don't have words for what Bin just did. He's level down now. Top lane quest completed by 369. Bin has not. Oh, Bin, with all the drama surrounding him from the last day as well, that's not going to go down well online, I can tell you that. Just, what has happened to Bin? No, I think ever since, you know, probably World's 24 semis, something has happened to this guy, and he's just never been able to retain that same level of form. Now, 23 was excellent from an individual year from him, despite being diffed by 369 across many series. Individually, he was still very, very good. Then, of course, bombed out against the Shire Worlds in semis. 24, he was just excellent. Just excellent. Still no level 11 for Bin, by the way. He's down a full level and a half now. That is ridiculous. The roll quest teleport from 369 gave him the shield to trade out against the minions there. On coming into the bot side jungle. Fungo is here. This spot now, there is an Alistar ult to use. He can get a headbutt here. Great three-man ult. Knock-up going through. Getting some damage on the Fungo. Jachi's coming through. Do they have the damage? I'm not sure. Shun gets the ult onto it. It might save his life. Shun outplays. Knight has the ghost running. Can he use the realm up to go forward? I think they might be able to. Viper trying to trade out against Jachi. Some auto attacks coming through from the blue man group. There's a bounce. On goes down. Viper trying to get himself some extra damage. There's the barrier coming through to save him. Grassblade gets another kill as well. The follow through from the threaded volley helping for Cream is now trying to get himself in 1v3. Skill shots flying in every direction. I think Shun will die. Does he have the extra auto attacks, the extra Qs? All he needs is one more Q. It's the skill shots. It's just about those skill shots. There's no one left alive. I think Top Esports walk away with just about the better end of that trade. Knight gets himself the mid lane roll quest. No top lane is involved. 3 for 3 on the bot side. Absolutely ridiculous skirmishing through the bot side of the map. You know, on that 3-man ultimate, went absolutely insane. Where did all the damage come through? Jachi, good ult from him on the misfortune. They all group up. Great knock-up from On. Great pulverize. Right into the combo from Knights. But then there's no cancels for the bullet time. Means that Shun is basically out of the play. Great play from Viper to capitalize. I think they probably should have walked away with the 1 for none, though. It is a good combo. Very good combo. Into the mid lane. On has no ult. He'll die here. Top Esports playing very well around the scrappy fights. Knight is now 3-0. Very, very powerful. Jachi, though, finds himself at 3-2. Oh, hang on. Shun going for that. And Jachi just dies. Had no summoners. Great punish by Shun. Might have the ability to charge through the wall. Shun will die. It's a 1 for 1 again. 80 carry goes down. Who gets that kill? It's Nio. Shun has had a dreadful game on the Kiana. 369 trying to demolish the tower. Might try and dive it actually as well. Bin is down a full level on this Gnar. A full level. Completed the quest, I want to say about a minute and a half after him. On looking for the combo. That's not bad. Root coming through as well. No. Oh my god. On. That was just nasty. There's no flash from Cream. They won't be able to kill him. But it's a good punish. On using the Mega Cone as well. The Monster Energy Blast Cones. On. Oh my god. He has his ult again now, which might save him. He might need to use it. He does. Is there anyone coming? I don't know. No, Blast Gun trying to jiggle peek. And he does. He'll make it out alive. Ult for ult with Nio. Probably better for BLG. It's about a wash, actually. The Astral is really nice. 369 is going to walk up and take this turret, I think. Bin can't do anything about it. 369 has demolished Bin, and it's just a straight 1v1. Bin has played very poorly this game. Minion will come through at some point. There is an ult available for him. Shun is coming towards top side. This could be a kill if Shun wants to really path up here. They have the Realm Warp as well coming up in just a second. Here we go. Multiple angles coming through. He does have flash. I think he just dies here. Dead. He knows he's overextended. Goes down. Ryze gets the kill once again. Knight showing his map presence. Been very impactful on champions like the Ryze. Getting across the map. Knight really helping BLG there, because their jungler is basically a non-impact champion now. They'll use their mid laners that instead. Oh my god, Bin's going to get the same treatment that 369 had. Teleports towards bot side, has the roll quest. So they have a Dominus. He does now. He might be able to clear this out. Does have the Stride Breaker as well. Ooh, good flash away. That's a really good flash away. Credit to him. Bin, I thought, was dead to rights there. Does end up living, getting most of the wave too. Tower still goes down. It's still gold up for top esports, but no extra kill gold going over. Oh, Herald into mid lane. Remember, they did... Think they're able to get there in time. They are. Yeah, really well-timed wall from Cream. Don't think they would have been able to do the U-turn in mid lane quick enough. Fungyue looking for the ult. Nio's on vision here. They spot him. Dragon is available. It's Chemtech, so BLG might be happy giving this over, honestly. It's not like they have a crazy amount of shields to use, although the Tenacity will be useful. 369. Ow, that's a lot of damage. She still has flash. She does hit onto both people there. On, forced back, does have ult. That's not a bad ult from the Kiana, but it won't steal the objective. On is in the middle of the team, but he's losing HP fast. And I think that cow's out of the play. Great ult onto Knight. Triple chain CC, and they'll kill the primary target on the other side. Top Esports get the dragon, and they get the fight afterwards. BLG, it's very hard for them to fight when there's Kiana is this far behind. Nio has had an excellent series, you know. He has out-jungled Shun. Wait, Jamada said Viper was the best performing BLG member on BLG? Oh, that's cap. Nah. Jamada, I love you, my boy, but that's just not right. Viper was actually very, very invisible. I think On had to be the best performing player throughout the first part of the split. On or Knight, one of the two. Bin set in the side lane again. 0 and 2, down over 1,000 gold. Bin. Yep, the Weibo threads are going to go crazy about that one. Okay, so Knight still has a huge advantage. I wonder what he's going to build next, actually. Looks like he's going towards the Actualizer. You know, the maximum overcharge. Probably does need a Zhonya's, though, at some point in this game. So what happened here? Did he just try and greed onto the Mini-Gnar again? Yep. Yeah, he did. And he ran into a Vi and died, because the Vi is very, very fed. Nice, had an excellent game. Credit to him. Bin is playing... Yeah, his first game was fine. But this one has been really, really quite bad, actually. Reminder, folks, that BLG did call up their LDL rookie top laner, Wenbo, I believe his name is. Because of some rumored altercation between verbal altercation between him and a manager. Apparently came back and apologized, and he's back starting, but well, hang on, can they catch Fungyue? He does have flash. Quite hard to do anything around that. Well, Shun is at 2 items. Funnily enough, he's not gone for the Axiom Arc second, he's gone for the opportunity for the extra lethality. Less power, though. Potentially, than that Axiom Arc second. Good damage onto Fungyue. On could potentially... Oh, going for the exhaust, trying to outplay the Poppy W. Pops the ultimate. Oh, Fungyue goes for the wall charge, but misses it. A knock-up from On. That is excellent. It still might be 1-for-1. Curtain's called. Realm Warp to get Knight back into the play. It's not bad damage. I just don't think it's enough. Fourth shot brings Nio down to half HP. 1-for-1, despite, I think, the fact that BLG technically outplayed. They just don't have the stats to make it work. Kaiju fight on the bot side. Bin trying to fight against the huge gold deficits. 369 was in mini. Takes a half HP off of him. Doing what he can, I suppose. Nio flying over the wall. Didn't use that ultimate in the last play. Knight is on the menu, I suppose. Knight's gone for the pen boots, by the way. Oh, he does die here. I think a cream can fly over the wall. That's a really good angle from Nio. That's probably a dead Knight. Does have flash. I don't think it will matter, though. Oh my god, he just slaughters him. I am completely wrong. Knight, Dex, Nio. Okay, call me a liar, folks. Call me a liar. Jachi now focused down on the mid lane. Knight, massive outplay. That might break the game, folks. That might break the game. Bullet time. Doesn't kill Viper. Viper kills him. Jachi goes down. Knight may have just broken the game there. They used both their jungle mid supports, their jungle mid ults to go to that play. He beats them in the 1v2, goes back, buys the Actualizer, and BLG can now start the Baron. They'll teleport in. Bin will come over. Knight may have just saved the game for BLG, which is falling away from them. Teleport behind them. Here comes 369. Do they finish the Baron? I think they should try and finish the Baron. On can play Gatekeeper here. He's got Meganar coming up. A little bit scary. Vi won't be here. Get him away from the pits. Should be down. On might die for this, but I think he'll end up being fine. The Meganar goes onto a couple. That's quite scary. And Nio comes over. He doesn't have ult. Knight's going low now. I don't know whether BLG can respond to this. They should have just kept him away. They've taken the Baron, but at what cost? BLG, Knight just saved you your game, but you've thrown it right back into the abyss. All 5 die.
Red team has scored an ace.
Top Esports take a throw from BLG. I think they could have just... Oh my god, this is such a big play. Knight outplays. They misjudged their damage. Cream tries to get the flick back onto him and predict the flash. Instead, he flashes to the side. Destroys Nio. So what happened here? It's a great 2v2 coming through from Viper and On. BLG, their Barons are just awful. So what happens here? 369 comes in. Can they just not disengage? They don't have a Realm Warp to do that with, but you would have thought... Oh, Knight goes next to the wall. Doesn't help. Viper walks up for a 4th shot. He doesn't get in range either. They tried to finish off the Kiana. Good double Q. Fengyue gets back into the play. Fight's over. So that's led to Top Esports getting the Chemtech Soul. This should have been such a winnable game for BLG after that point. Now they're going to have to clutch it back from the Abyss again. Top Esports, they do get a great Baron fight for themselves. It really is all on Knight to see how much random damage you can get, but they have the Vi to shut him down. It's going to be so hard. He doesn't have a Zhonya's. Viper is well behind Jachi, despite the 2v2s actually being very solid from them. There's no Baron, of course, for Top Esports, because BLG were the ones to take it. It's now just off the table for everyone. Bin going into mid lane against 369. Down 2.5 thousand gold. He has been truly out top laned in this game. Viper has the rapid fire cannon and the Storm Razor, trying to get himself some extra movement speed. The Cream ult comes over. If he gets flicked back here, that could be a problem. Just about dips in. Very, very close run stuff from Knight. Oh, that's a knockup. Doesn't quite get onto Cream, though. Pops that ultimate. Bullet time comes through, and I think he'll just die. On misjudges it. And, folks, I think we're going to 3 games. I think we're going to 3 games. Finn pops the Dominus. Goes on to 369. The ult's not bad either. Naya flies in. How much? Where's the damage, though? Where is your damage? They get one back onto someone, onto the Poppy. That's it, the supports. But they're down 3 members. BLG, your Barons are just so ass. Top Esports, great turnaround fight from them. I think Nio has been spectacular. 369 has been spectacular. And that is why BLG were in... Hang on, Jachi, he doesn't have flash. The slows are really good here, you know. But no summoners. If an extra shot had landed, perhaps Jachi would have been slowed into it. But the tenacity from the Chemtech Dragons, I think, actually helping him out there. Extra 12% tenacity meant that slow lasted less long. Walks away from it. I think BLG should have just... Oh, man. That's going to be one that's going to be playing on the inside of their eyelids for a while. Top Esports break the base. They take bot lane inhib. They don't take the inhib itself, worth noting. Knight not wanting to stick around and finishing... Oh, maybe you can, actually. Knight don't die for this. He pops the Ghost. Exhaust on the other side, so it's a summoner for summoner. really wanted to try and cheat that vision. Stuff like scuttle crabs removing vision around an area now is actually very important. Yeah, folks, and a reminder, I have like a hard deadline on the hour. So if this goes to 3 games, I'm not going to be able to finish the series. So I'll send you over to someone else. So sorry for that one. It's just the way that things are today. Top Esports, can they really take a victory of the BLG like this? Well, BLG definitely not in their strongest points ever. Chachi's bullet times have been disgusting as well. Doesn't even need the Lord Dominant's Regards or something like that. Knight has the Actualizer on. No summoners for him. On has played actually very... Look, I know On is 1-7. On's had a good game, folks. It's actually not on him. How do you play, you know, when the other part of the jungle support duo is set behind so much from the early stages of the game? I actually think On's Alistair's been fine. Just that Nio has massively out-jungled Shun. Didn't think I'd be saying that. I think Nio's a player which I've had concerns about for Top Esports. Ult coming across the team. That should be the turret taken, and it will be. Flick back not working from Cream there. Shun, careful there, buddy. GA on Nio makes it harder as well. And I think, you know, I was saying this year, and I think this still has a chance to be true. You know, it's early days still, comparative to the rest of the year, but little worrying that it's at this quality right now. I was saying that actually LPL should technically be... Hang on, Nio. Good trade there. My dude, you gotta be careful. Jumps through the CC chain isn't great. That's the Renekton flown out of the play. The wall stumps come through, but there's not that much follow-up damage, actually. They lose Fongway. The Actualizer getting a huge amount of damage. That's the GA down onto the Vi. Fongway jumps back into the pit. They see him there, and they manage to get that kill there. Where's the 4th shot? Can go straight onto the Vi, and he dies to it. He walks into it. They take down the Kiana but lose the Vi. They didn't realize the 4th shot was there. Double kill to Viper, helping them out an awful lot. Viper getting good damage down there. Top Esports, perhaps not a done story just yet. Losing powerful members. Dragon, the Elder Dragon, in a minute. They have a weak soul. This is Chemtech. It's not a Hextech Infernal Mountain. So, does that lead to any huge change now? 369 has Mega coming up. Don't stand next to Wolf. Oh, the W lands. It's scary. It's really, really scary. Flick away doesn't land. Knight is actually very strong. 369. Not necessarily on the other side. 50 seconds till Dragon now. Viper needs to reset. Has himself that Lord Dominant's Regards. This build is actually really, really nasty at this point, isn't it? Nio, there's no one on your screen. Jumps into 4. The CC chain, it wasn't even perfect. Nio makes it out alive here. Fongway should have died. Didn't quite end up dying to that last bit. And then Nio flies back into the 4th shot. Fongway is spotted there. So he gets hit by the 3rd. And then Nio tries to cancel the rise. Dies instead. Knight makes it out. Well, folks, it's a 7,000 gold lead for Top Esports. Lots of that nucleated in top lane. Dragon spawning, though. It is an Elder. If you fuck up around the Elder, anything can happen. 369 looking for chunks, trying to take the red buff. BLG trying to push up through mid lane. They only have the 1 turret, by the way. Top Esports have 7. Nio has flash and ult. He doesn't have GA anymore. No Zhonya's for the side of BLG. Quite hard to disengage that. On does have flash. Perhaps a flash combo from On can save them the game. Perhaps. Shun on the flank as well. On goes onto the mini. No, they really want to take that top laner down. The bullet time is pretty nasty. Going on to Shun. There's not that much follow-up, though, and that could be a problem. They shove him backwards. The sun coming through. The 4th shot, where's that going? 3rd through. You get Fongway. What's going to happen with the rest of it? Cream good damage, but there's no extra follow-up. Knight's trying to damage on the 369, but 369 is so damn fed. The Gnar takes him down. He's the better carry than almost anyone else on Top Esports. And BLG, I think you have failed your last clutch attempt. Top Esports got ahead early through Shun's roll and Bin as well. And Top Esports ride it out through the thick and thin. So what should be a 3-game series. Top Esports will take down Bin yet again. What a horrid game he has had, with all the drama included. Viper, I don't even think he's had a bad game on the Jhin. It's not on him. Realistically, BLG fell apart through jungle and top lane. Top Esports punishing them with a 4,000 and a 2,000 gold lead between them. On's back on the board. It won't matter, though. 4 members of Top Esports will be enough on this Nexus to take us all the way. Top Esports will take BLG to 3 games. Okay, folks, with that, 999, hell yeah. I will not be able to do game 3 here, folks. I just need to let everyone know I will not be able to do game 3. I've got a hard out on the hour. So I'm going to send you over to, if you're on Twitch, I'll send you over to someone else. If you're on YouTube, I'm so sorry. Going to have to find somewhere else to watch it. This is the way that is. Even with the fast series earlier today, I thought we might be able to see it through here, but honestly, God, that was an awful game from Bin. Awful game from Bin. I'll stick around for a little bit, and then we'll find somewhere to radio over to. I've got 20 minutes, so I can sit around and chat. It's a shame, because actually numbers were actually looking pretty good here as well. That is quite annoying. Whatever. I should have just planned better around things. It happens. I thought that Sam might be able to cover, but Sam's been traveling today, so he can't do that right now, sadly. No, Amber, no. Plus, also, I don't want to, like, put bad content out there, you know? Because that would be bad content, basically. It's all good. It is what it is. It happens. I'll just plan better next time. Okay, so, well, Bin played an absolute shocker there, folks. That was a shocker from Bin. And, yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say about there, is it? Not crazy amount to say. I think Shun was just really not great either. Shun dying in the bot gank. I thought there were some mistakes there from him individually. Well, I think he might have put his passive auto down onto the Poppy instead of the Misfortune. Hey, thanks for the follows, by the way, folks, if you have enjoyed what you've seen here today, please think about dropping a like, follow, and subscribing, stuff like that. It does help keep me in business, because I say business, but this is basically what pays my rent, folks. Lots of people are very supportive, but it does take an awful lot to get to that point. Great game from 369. What a shocker from Bin, though. Thought Bin left temporarily? No, he's been playing today. TV2 was actually legit from Viper and on. Okay, I'm gonna milk you for one last set of ads, and then we'll go off. Is Ben is in? Yep, Ben is in. Ben is in. Okay, folks, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I can't stick around for the third game, which is really, really sad. I'm, again, really sorry for this. Really try not to do this. But I'm gonna raid you over to someone. If you're on YouTube, the show will end here. I'm very sorry for this, folks, but and I'll see you, folks. Let's add a future point. Let me see who's online. Maybe I raid over to Kitty. Yeah, he's cool. 369 player of the game. No surprise there. He was really good. Yeah, I'll raid over to Kitty, folks. So say hi to her, and I'll see you tomorrow, folks. See you tomorrow. So sorry again, I got to leave early today, and I'll leave it at that.